It's odd numbers, lost in my thoughts, lost in my own design. Back away, I'm creating equations with no separation. There's no recreation. It's hard to breathe, there is no heart on my sleeve, and I see everything my multicolored vision could be. I gotta speed right through starlight. This music hits new heights, improving illusions, no losing. Oh, I just got a feeling I'm sleeping at 10 past 6. I'm always dreaming, believing I deal exist, searching for meaning. I'm seeing 1,000 absolutes unfolding. I got a feeling, this feeling is high up in space, rhythm and reason. I'm healing, I won't be replaced. Your wings are killing me, now set it free. 1,000 absolutes collapsing.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Vodible's Primetime Tuesday. I am joined by a complete stranger on the cast, Cardinals29. How you doing, Cards?
Hello, hello. Never been better. You know, a great day for some Primetime Tuesday. You know,
how real is that? How real is that? Now, Cards, I know you've casted quite a bit.
Yeah, extensively.
Years of casting experience, known most recently for your appearance on the Omega Strikers Pro League Invitational as my coach. So how about you break down these two teams for me as we're getting into the draft in Oni Village?
Of course. Those two teams, you know, since I of course know the two teams.
Yeah, what are they, Cards?
Oh, you know, I was giving you a cue to remind me what they are.
Oh, I didn't want to take it away from you. So what are the teams again?
Oh,
Cards?
Quest Esports versus.
Let's go.
You know,
Demons
the other
Raw.
team. Demons Raw.
All right, so
Yeah,
this is a matchup that historically Demons Raw have had Quest's number 4. Quest still looking for that elusive first tournament win. They are out in the mines. They are grinding. They yearn for the mines. And no matter how many times they get knocked back down, they are always a team that can upset someone. So I always look forward to seeing them play, especially Quest on what I regard as his best pick as the Estelle. Cards, you're a bit of a goalie player, so what kind of goalies, like, what do you think about the goalie picks here? It's looking like Dubu, and then it could be Kai, but we'll have to see. Could be Kai Ford. It looks like
I mean,
Era?
Dubu's just the classic on this map, you know? No one holds it down like no other.
That was
Controls
fast.
the map like no other. The wall, you know? I am a fan of Kai, though. Is Kai goalie?
No, I call it. It's Era goalie.
It's Era goalie?
Yeah, so Demons Raw's been playing Era goalie. Is it good? Questionable. Should you play in your Soloki games? Absolutely not.
Absolutely. Oh.
Well, if you're in Cardinals 29's Diamond Soloki games, bust it out for him if you're on the other team.
You might see it on my side, you know? That's all I'm saying.
Interesting that Gumi elected for the eject button to try to get some more offensive pressure. Eras normally opt for Moby boots or the eject button. I think momentum boots would give him more value here. We're going to see if he's able to get offensive pressure coming out, which I don't know if he necessarily needs with the Kai Ford, known in this matchup for being able to provide more of the midfield winning interactions than Estelle will. So we'll probably see the ball forced into Quest Esports half a lot more, just because their characters will not be able to keep up with the speed that Demons Raw's characters will be capable of. Yeah.
Here's my question. What does this pick bring over Eject Kai? Since Gumi... Oh my. Great double kill by Snake.
That's a great question, and I'm going to answer that with absolutely nothing. Every once in a while, you're going to send a NATO down the lane and smile wide, but
yeah, Kai can't do that, baby. No, sir.
Yeah. Hey, guys, does Kai need buffs? Be honest.
Be honest. I think we need to buff him right now.
That is so real. Also, something that is important to mention is that we have on our hands our favorite part of the entire game. In the Awakening selection, one of the trainings is heavy impact, but Cards, we've got a bit of a race for mayor this game, with Spark of Resilience being the starting training.
Can I ask who has put themselves on the ballot for this fine city?
The ballot currently, the 4 candidates we have up for election are
4
Gumi,
candidates.
Yeah,
Primaries
Gumi,
are on.
Kai Noob, Switch SSB, and Toasty Local have all put their hats into the ring to be elected mayor.
We have a great race this year. Oh my.
Yeah,
love that.
I'm curious to see what the political experts are going to analyze here when the first primaries begin in this draft, which is, they've already gotten out to a 2-0. I definitely think this team earlier, like Dubu scales a lot harder with the trainings as rounds go on. Like he really gets way more value out of speed and cooldown in terms of like the bang for your buck, and also apparently just execute someone.
Okay.
While Era is going to give way more value early because she's not going to be under as much offensive pressure from Switch and Hamster because of their lack of cooldown trainings, their lack of size trainings. So well-placed strikes is going to make sure Gumi will be able to save the ball. Oh my god, and it's a massacre.
Oh, do not look.
Hold.
Turn the
Hold
cameras
switch.
off.
Forward in the net. Hold. Switch needs to hold here. I mean, I think
believe.
they're playing with their food a little bit.
He's doing
I'll
it.
say it.
Yeah, something about the 30 passes back and forth.
Yeah.
Um,
No, the triangle.
the triangle formation.
Okay, so Snake, I think, actually did not go for a spark. He's the only one on their team without a spark, but we don't
But
see any
they're
sparks.
sparkless. The primaries are still on.
Yeah, this is honestly a waste of a draft if there's no sparks.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, what's even the point? Can we just go to next draft already?
Yeah, please. No sparks, no interest. I think Missile Prop will go to the Dubu, and then
Missile Prop Dubu. Looks
Kai's
good.
gonna deny the big fish from Rasmus, which I like because if you have Spark or Resilience, so for people unaware that are watching the stream or the VOD, the Sparks and the Stagger trainings were recently buffed. Most notably, if you've played the game, Reverberation has changed from a bottom of the barrel pick to one of the strongest trainings in the game. They've over doubled the health ratio. So when you pick up big fish and then you pick up Spark or Resilience, Kainoob has about 500 more health on average than most of the players. You get something like peak performance, you get something like reverberation. The bonus stats you're getting from stacking the stagger is incredibly difficult to match, and the craziest part is you're not really giving up anything to do it because you still have that tankiness and CDR and killing potential, which we just see Dubu poorly executed.
I mean, it honestly feels like you're picking up like 2 trainings when you pick up like reverb or bulk up. You know?
Yeah, it's a chilling like, oh guys, I got a bulk up with a stagger training. I got 300 HP and like 30 power for fun, and that will only get stronger. So we'll probably see Kainoob, if he can't get a spark, opt into more health trainings in future rounds. And usually in these rounds, speaking of what's actually going on in the action, you're going to see a lot of times the damage coming out from the Zentaro. The one weakness of Dubu on this map, if you don't go into Pauldrons, which you've seen a lot here, is his susceptibility to dying. Zentaro Dubu is a pretty well-known matchup for being difficult for Dubu because Zentaro has tools to play around Dubu stun, and he just does too much damage for Dubu to consistently deal with. So as long as Gumi can hold it down the back, which nice play by Hamster Quest, actually punishes the weakness of Era. As long as Gumi and Kainoob can control the ball in the back court, you're going to watch Snake slowly whittle poor Dubu down as the match goes on. And that's going to be the game plan of Demon's Raw, which is the team that I would favor to win this one.
So the win con for Demon's Raw is to hold it down while Snake can go to work. Well,
and they've been, my god, the win con is not being achieved.
The win con is not translating very well onto the field. But
focus up.
Yeah, focus up. Maybe next round, Kainoob and Gumi can work together, make something work. Snake already going to work. Not really. He's kind of dead in real life. But so it's chill.
Yeah, it's something interesting that we've been talking about what Dubu struggles with. And Gumi's struggling holding a single barrier this round.
Double from Gumi. Love that from him.
Yep, show them pause. Most recent emo added is that we're just gonna get full chatting mode here. That Dubu emote where he's cheering is the most recent community emote, guys. So if you are an Omega Strikers player, it is in your inventory right now, and you can use it for free.
Dare I say, a great job from the community with this one.
Yeah,
I must say.
Oh, nice hook at a
flip.
switch. If Gumi did not have flip, that was in. I think it's going to be a goal, though.
Yep.
Hamster ties that up nicely. They kind of speedran that set. It looked like, I mean, Demon's Raw came blasting out of the gate.
Yeah.
They fire right back. And the Lord punishes those who do not elect to become the mayor.
Coming up big in the primaries here. The polls are surging.
No, but here's the secret cards. He's not in the race.
No.
And so Gumi will be...
is the leader?
No! He took Super Surge from his Centauro!
Gumi! What about your duty to your city?
Yeah, guys, for non-knowers, you're the mayor of Sparkington City. If you get all 4 sparks, I want to see it happen. So far we have Toasty at... No, Switch at 2. Everyone else still at 1. That speed is actually a huge pickup.
Yeah, that is
probably
a very good one on this map.
I would say it's probably his best, because this comp really isn't going to kill that many people off of stagger. Like if anything, they're going to be the ones out staggered. So the speed is going to help him a lot in these, especially on the side zones. He's going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting in the front half. As Dubu goes down, Hamster actually plays goalie, so this isn't the most unwinnable situation.
Hamster looking a little dead though as well.
Yeah, switch.
It's okay. Switch has held before.
Yeah.
We will see it again.
Needs to stall for Hamster to get back up. The long-range hitboxes of Estelle are so important to the era. Nice
great
saves.
strike.
Yeah. The long-range hitboxes from Hamster Quest are really important because the midfield goalie combo from Demon's Raw is really short range. Like Kai Barrage is like 550 and Era Beam is similar. So Hamster can always outrange and push the ball through the midfield line. So it's really important if he's not up for them to stall so he can use his primary and ult to make sure the ball's moving forward. Oh, the stay forward steppy roll! No, Toasty!
No.
Bolt barriers down. Open field, I actually do favor the side of Demon's Raw though when there are no barriers. I think that Kai and the Era are going to be more flexible. The speed coming out from Kai and Gumi is a lot, but then they hit it into the Dubu wall and just lose the ball for free.
Some of the weaknesses of Era goalie coming out in strong, in full detail here.
Incredible that the powerhouse pick known as Era goalie could let in that goal.
Gumi letting his best pick, letting a goal like that. How can he do this?
Startling out of Era goalie. Now,
yikes.
I will say, it is funny simply because if you're Rasmus, you get a little tilted every time you're Era Beam because it feels terrible to lose size, but other than that, my god, this pick looks like it's giving 0 value.
I think he can live with it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
I don't think Dubu can live with it. I haven't been keeping track. I want to say that's like the 5th or 6th time Dubu's been killed by Snake.
He's level putting in work.
8. He's level 8, by the way. Like 3 levels above
God
every
knows
single
he's not
player.
getting help from Kai and Era on killing him. So good job on Snake to find these crucial goalie kills.
Looks like the flip goes wide, gets a barrier on the back end, but Kainib should be able to force us through with Snake on the next push. They have 2 core flips, uses the first to get a ball to Snake, but Hamster intercepts it quite nicely. Dribbling back and forth, Kainib's going to try to use Barrage to keep the ball up. He wants it in a position where Snake can ult the ball and trap it against the barrier. Not going to go here. Nice elusive from Snake to stay alive and the pressure up in the forward position. As Gumi runs forward with eject, blinks back though, he doesn't want to risk the core flip and draining the barriers. Hard to defend an open net versus Estelle as Era, so I understand why he might want to keep that. Ejects back in. Gumi always looking for the core flip pressure on the net. If he can manage to get close enough to the barrier and eject back safely to help his forwards, he keeps looking for that potential. He's not finding it quite yet. But in terms of offensive pressure, the eject button is putting in work because he's able to back up his forwards with additional strike. Kaini Barrage goes a bit wide. Gumi manages to sneak it back in, but to no avail. Nice mix-up from Hamster Quest, blows Gumi's core flip, but Snake with a nice secondary breaks their final barrier. It's an open net for Toasty Local. Meanwhile, on the other side, they're struggling to break fast. Kainu playing a second goalie style with the Kai forward. This is what the pick excels at. Not that I would know, but Kai
or something
forward,
like that.
Yeah, or something. It can be anything.
Who knows?
Kai forward, I mean, look, let's be honest. Kai is a stronger goalie overall, historically, and even in the current meta. But Kai forward excels at denying zones of control with his barrage, and when he activates his secondary for speed, combined with his slick kicks, the Estelle will not be able to keep up. Nice flip from Toasty. Nice flip from Kai.
Oh,
yeah, denied. Yeah, Toasty has some good strike placement there. If he messed up, that was going to be a goal.
And Snake are low. This could be a crucial kill coming up, whichever side lands it here, if they do.
Yeah. In theory, cooldowns are up for blue side. If they stagger them correctly, he should die.
Oh, great
no!
kill. But he rolls in. Very unfortunate.
That's, you know what's funny is, also for people who aren't familiar with the patch notes, I have to talk about that real quick. There was an Estelle damage nerf on her ult, which everyone was like, why the hell did they do that? It actually made the difference. Hamster thought the ult would get it, so he didn't primary, and then he had to think to primary, and then didn't strike in time. So, interesting that actually was relevant there. We're going to see Rapid Fire for Estelle, and then Dubu's probably going to go
another
peek.
Spark. on the table,
Yeah,
though.
I think it's gonna go to
Does he
Rasmus.
grab it?
No,
Oh.
they denied it.
That's so sad.
He gives peak. I actually like giving the peak to Rasmus. It gives him some even more speed, so now he has double health trainings and 2 sparks
Yeah, he's
for
gonna
speed.
be very fast.
He should be the fastest base movement speed character on the pitch.
That being said,
Yeah,
he's
Eric
not
Kai
looking
moment.
very fast.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, now he can keep up, but he just won't have the multi hits to deal with Kainub, especially now. The game is almost sealed because Kainub's picked up a crucial training on this map, which is the quick strikes. Which we see him demonstrating a full display here. He's just gonna spam the ball in the corner and wait for a forward to position to cut his dribble and then blow past him just like this. This should be a goal. Yep. It's just like that. He's gonna dribble in the corner. You get the increased energy from core flip strikes, and then he'll force it through with barrage and his other forward. It's super clinical. I do it myself all the time. It is the way to score on Kai. Quick strikes makes this match like 20 times harder.
You seem to know a lot about this Kai forward pick.
Yeah, I've studied the VODs, chatting.
Really? Any guides? You know? You've seen?
Kai forward guides? Well,
Ooh.
I don't know about
Ooh.
that. Maybe, guys, it's September. Actually,
That's
I can't
so-
show my own Twitch channel on the broadcast. I was about to chill it. Nice goal.
I can respect a good chill.
You know what? I can. Guys, if you like that goal, go watch twitch.tv/FirelighV for great Kai forward gameplay. Chatting.
Wow, that is so real.
We're on match point here. Quest has put up a good fight, but I can't overstate enough how difficult it'll be as a McDouble.
Oh, hate to
Gumi's
see
staying
it.
up.
Oh,
Gumi's flying.
Get in there, young man.
Get in
Fly.
there. Oh, kind
Kinub
of gives
gets
up
gapped.
a... Oh, yeah, he gives a barrier to the Estelle blink. Oh,
It's in. Oh,
nice
well
passes on
played.
Quest. Yeah, that was nice. I like that. Gumi wanted to fly, and then Kainub instantly crumbled forward in the net. I understand completely. I don't know if Quest can make a comeback, but it's a good start. It's really going to come down to the fact that their comp has no kill pressure. And when you're getting outmatched in midfield, like if you don't have advantageous trainings, like look at Kainub go, like this is another barrier.
Oh, he cannot be stopped.
Like they have no idea, they can't out core control this. Like it's just
That's
what can
gonna
you
be
do? So when you can't have that kill pressure, Demon's Raw is just gonna clean it up because there's really nothing else they could have done. It was clinical from Demon's Raw. As soon as that quick strikes got picked up, Kainub's able to take over the map with the Kai. And it's just a weakness of Quest's comp that it's just not a pick they can stop at that point, regardless of the weakness that Aragoli provides. I mean, sometimes it's just as simple as give your Kai some speed with quick strikes and no one's going to touch him.
I mean, you don't gotta make a lot of saves if it never really comes to your goal.
Yeah. And I think nothing exemplifies that more of the simple fact that Kainub and Gumi had the same saves.
Yeah.
If you look at the stats,
Yeah,
they
for sure.
down to literally the number. They have the exact same saves. So, well played to Demon's Raw and Quest. Demon's Raw, looking as dominant as ever. They are the only undefeated team in NASL. They have good results in all their tournaments. They're probably the championship favorite for tonight's Primetime Tuesday. Definitely a team that you need to look out for if you're in this bracket. Nothing really else to be said. Cards, and I know you're pretty familiar with the competitive scene. What do you think?
Of course. Hey, that seems pretty good. You know.
That's facts. What makes them so good? What sets them apart from the pack?
It's got to be the Gooby difference. You know, no one gets McDoubled with grace like he does.
That is true. No one is better at griefing their first 2 barriers and then holding it down. I'll say that much.
He knows that he's the better goalie, and to help train, he intentionally loses barriers.
Well, he's like a monk in the mountains, under the waterfall, in deep concentration.
He's got the training weights on. That's all I'll say.
I like that.
God
also,
help us
someone
all if he takes
that I
them
didn't really talk about much was Snake. And honestly, I don't want to because he had a disgusting play style where he just sat on Debu all game. Absolutely hated that. It's completely effective. I mean, hats off to him that
it worked.
That is what he's supposed to do. But John honestly might need to take a look at that Zentaro character. I did not enjoy watching poor Dubu get walloped in the back, and there was
Yeah.
nothing to be done. Like, seriously, it just looked like Demon's Raw
I mean,
had their number.
what is Dubu supposed to do? He throws a log every 15 seconds. And that time Zentaro throws out 80 abilities at him and 2 passives. It's very chill. It's very chill. Very cool that he could just walk up and solo kill the goalie. With no Kai throws a barrage every 30 years.
Yeah.
Big
No.
help for sure.
I get it. I want to also shout out, I think the forwards of Quest had some good sequences. They're constantly improving. I think the pressure that Estelle adds on top of Switch's presence on Erasmus was resulting in some bears being taken from Gumi. But I do think the match MVP has to go to Kainu, defensively helping, and then he would just, as soon as he got the ball in his hands, he just dribbled up the court, and it felt like every single time I looked at him barreling down the speed lane with flip, I knew the ball was going in. So well done to Kainu and the rest of Demons Raw. They'll be moving on in the bracket. And speaking of moving on in the bracket, we have much more PTT to be seen, so we will be back for the next round of winners, where Demons Raw will once again try to see if they can continue their blitzkrieg on the way to the championship. So do not go anywhere. We will be right back with more Primetime Tuesday from Sir Vodible himself. So stay tuned, and we will see you soon.
let it go when the road was dark. Couldn't wait, then ahead, it's time to move and make my mark. I gave my pride, left all my regret. I just wish to be stronger, to give it all my best. What do I do to spread this burning courage? Every day, every night, I'm stuck inside of my head. I'm gonna stay grind today, wanna be somebody leading the way. Don't be afraid, gotta be brave, no matter what's coming our way. Strike it down and hype up the crowd. We can bring the energy they've never seen before. There's no doubt we're going all out. It's time we can shine the light and dream inside. So don't back down, we have the power. I know nothing can stop us, we get it that way. I can't stop. back away, I'm creating equations with no separation. There's no recreation. It's hard to breathe, there is no heart on my sleeve, and I see everything my multicolored vision could be. I got a speed right, the starlight, this music, it's new heights, improving illusions, no losing. Oh, I just got a feeling, I'm sleeping at 10 past 6. I'm always dreaming, believing, I deal exist, searching for meaning. I'm seeing 1,000 absolutes unfolding. I got a feeling, the ceiling is high up in space, rhythm and reason. I'm human, I won't be replaced. Your words are killing me, I'll set it free. 1,000 absolutes collapsing.
Gentlemen, ladies, gamers, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome back to Primetime Tuesday, number 12, featuring myself and Cardinals29, and a new guest who's looking exquisitely handsome, the Husbets Joker. How you doing today, Joker?
I'm doing good, man. Just excited to see the games coming up, man. I want to see some heaters. Obviously, it's my first time on the cast, and yeah, I just want it to be like a really good game I can remember it by.
Yeah. Now, I'm having trouble remembering myself. Could you tell me the names of the teams that are playing, Joker? Could you do me a favor? What are the teams playing?
First we got Demons Raw!
Demons Raw!
And honestly, I was too focused on doing the Demons Raw. I don't even know who they're playing against, bro, to be honest.
Hey, guards, who are they playing against?
They're playing against the one, the only, Goats Esports, baby.
Goats. The Goats.
Yeah. It's gonna be a Westy showdown, baby.
That's facts. Goats on a bit of an upswing. I think these are, so for watchers at home, 2 NASL North American Striker League pro teams, and they are quite, at least perception-wise from the community, different in terms of their strengths and their standings. Demons Raw, the arguably best in North America at the current time, undefeated in NASL. Goats fighting for their playoff spot, but we've been seeing Goats have a bit of a resurgence, placing on the podium in the last 3 tournaments they've entered, looking very strong, eliminating other NASL teams like Chikara Chatting to make it to this winners finals. We're going to see if the best of 3, they have the endurance to keep up with Demons Raw. We're going to look for the Goats Esports, arguably star player, Fudgy Waffles, versus Kainoob, our MVP for the last set. We're going to see if those two, who's going to be victorious when there's a battle between those 2 midfielders. Guys, what are your thoughts on the matchup here between the 2 teams?
Hey, Cards, you can go ahead first.
Just what I was hoping you'd say. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see if maybe Demons Raw. Demons Raw.
There we go.
Yeah, I had to get that out of my system. I'm good now. See if maybe they play a little more for fun, like they were in the last series we saw them with the Era goalie. But maybe they focus up a bit. Who knows?
And we've got an Oni Village start, a map that Demon's Raw is very comfortable on. We saw them win in against Quest with the Kai midfield. I don't think they'll opt for the Era goalie again, but it'll be curious to see how these pick bans go. What kind of characters, I know you're a forward player, what kind of characters are you looking to pick on this kind of map when you're the brawler position on your team?
So a really good pick just in general right now is Asher. I feel like her abilities are just really easy to take the barriers with, and even though like the ball can be moving a bit too fast, Asher can still like kind of get core control if she can get a pass from her teammate as well and just set her up to stuff the gates. It's a really good brawler pick. I think Julie isn't as bad as people say as well, and as you can see, Snake probably picking on that Julie right there. I think people underestimate Julie on this map because like it's really good, easy to set up her dash punch to stuff the barrier with, and people just undervalue her on this map. But yeah, we'll see how Snake does on it right here.
Gonna be Gumi on the Luna. Not a pick he's known for, but I'm sure he's gonna be able to make it work this game. We'll see.
This guy's for fun. Starting strings are Missile Prop, Kainu, Gumi, Kilius, and Fudgy have opted into that. Oop. And then Egoist on the two brawlers. So this is going to be a game where damage will be king, and we're going to see which brawlers can utilize their core flips more effectively as this match goes on. And already at the start, kind of proving Joker right there. Asher recently got a change to her basic abilities that allow her to do that. How much has that really impacted the character's ability to find success in the current meta, Joker? And what do those changes look like? Like, what's different now about Asher than the previous patches?
I mean, obviously she was extremely strong without that new addition, but now she can find a lot of picks way easier, being able to channel her primary mid dash, and she kind of has her own like little Julie dash punch now. And as you saw in that first set, or in that first point, I mean, Owl of Albion just got that really easily.
Yeah,
they just hit him back on the point here. Wow.
Yeah, we've been highlighting the Asher strengths, but there's almost a blitzkrieg of projectiles coming at Kilius. The weakness of Drakkar is while he's incredibly good at stopping the 1v1, when there's a lot of hitboxes, his shotgun can only do so much. So even though Luna is a bit of a weaker pick on this map, it looks like Demon's Raw has once again opted into a composition that just says, we're going to go on all-out offensive attack, and we're not going to let our goalie be in a position where their weaknesses of the character, which is their lack of defensive strength, it's going to be it shouldn't matter as much, right? Like, the ball just shouldn't get to Gumi, and they're going to be using this offensive pressure to make sure the ball's on their half, with Gumi able to fly in whenever he wants to add additional pressure.
Wow, they just all one-shot Kilius together right there as well.
The offensive pressure is on the whole team.
Yeah. Nice
Snake,
core flip.
Once again, doing his best reprise of last game's performance. Walking up to the goalie.
Kind of alive right now, I'll say it.
Wait a moment.
The core just rolls in.
Yeah, that's the classic when Demon's Raw is so reliant on Kainub to help mitigate that defensive pressure. When he just loses something like a single strike war, and you've used your flight on Luna, you don't really have a tool. Like, this is a huge positioning-based character on defense. So Gumi's just caught lacking for, no better way to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, Goats is really going to have to take advantage of every single advantage they get if they want to win this. Because, like you said, it's not going to be on their side. It's not going to be on Demon's Raw side a lot at all this game.
Yeah, and you're going to see Albion and Fudgy Waffles, when they're in front of the net, they're going to have to convert really hard. Nice kill coming out, shuts down any offense they could have. And a missile prop Amy turret is a chilling way to force the ball through. There's literally no way to clear that unless you time the strike almost perfectly. And the damage is just too much. Missile propulsion, 20% increase on the Luna primary ult, and as well as the Kainu primary is just, I mean, they're just getting eviscerated in terms of the damage. It's going to be tough to see.
We'll see if they can pick up anything here that can help them kind of survive.
Starter Swagger is on the table, but that Deadeye is also up. So
yeah, I think they shouldn't cope, and they should just give the Deadeye to Amy. Okay, good. I love this play because Luna's going to go prize fighter now, and then Julie can take the stagger swagger from Asher, and it's like the perfect draft for them. Or he could go Spark, which is completely fine as well. And then she'll pick up the stagger swagger. I love this draft if I'm the side of, honestly, pretty good all around for both teams.
Everyone's pretty happy with what they walked away with.
The problem is, though, the side of Goats didn't get any survivability, and the entire side of Demon's Raw just got damage. So they're going to look to repeat what they just did, but even more efficiently. And the side of Goats is going to try to utilize the extra ability charges and tankiness and range of their trainings, more utility. But if we know anything about this game, is that at the end of the day, you can just kill people and win. So we'll see what happens at this point.
Yeah, they might just focus their damage on Fudgy here because they noticed that Albion has his stagger swagger up. So they can probably just kill Fudgy on repeat if they go for the damage on him.
Gate's gonna go down. Gumi just used his flight, buys some pressure with his ult. His blink is gonna be back up soon, but Snake kind of just forced it through. Kilius has to evade to make sure he doesn't get comboed into his net, and you're kind of stuck in a bit of an animation. The ball just kind of bounces right through. Even if Kilius got to it, I think the Corpse will pat him down. Let's see the kickoff here. It really just depends where it starts. When it's the brawler side, it changes the kickoff quite a lot. Ball gets forced through. Kainoob and Gumi both make sure they don't lose a single barrier. Interesting use of resources. Core flip goes wide for Snake. Playing a bit of double goalie right now, trying to mitigate the defensive weaknesses of Luna. As soon as it gets to Asher, though, it's almost guaranteed to go in. Gumi, good pressure. Fudgy Waffles will be going down shortly. A nice rocket. Make sure that it snipes it from the Asher's hands. Going for kills, but actually can't convert. Fudgy's doing a nice job staying alive, but he's dead. Yep, the Juliet ult locks him into place. That is undodgeable if you are staggered and alone inside of it. Now the offense coming out. Asher proccing Egoist is scary for Luna. He's going to try to keep it away. Staggers with his own flip, which is a good use. I like that much more than saving it for a save. But already Asher's back up. Stagger Swagger is putting in work. This Asher is moving around at light speed and is able to keep up her offensive pressure. As long as she plays this spacing game nicely, you're going to notice it only takes 2 to 3 seconds for her to come back. And that's a huge wrench inside a Demon's Raw plan, because if you remember set 1, this Asher character would die pretty quickly. But as long as she spaces after taking damage from the cooldowns, she's going to live way longer. It took until overtime for her to die.
And you can't forget he has Vicious Vambrace as well, which helps him survive if he lands some abilities as well. Get that healing.
Yeah, no, that's a good point for sure. Ball just snuck in there though. I think that's the classic overtime syndrome. Oni Village overtime in the speed zone. It can just squeak by as a goalie. Very easy to happen.
Happens to the best of us. Hey, hate to see it.
I've done it. I think everyone's done it. Oh, we see the Estelle Asher combo that I absolutely hate playing goalie against. It's so difficult to hold those barriers. Yeah, anyone that's played goalie against Finesse knows just how cringe that strategy is to hold barriers. The Joker is one of the best at utilizing this exact comp. That Goats is picked. Ooh, nice try by Gumi. Joker, I want to ask, because you and Puffy FPS, forwards on Finesse, have played this Estelle Asher comp, or not? Yeah, like well, it feels like a lot. Like you're both. That's probably one of your most picked in the competitive scene right now. What should Goats be trying to do to take the lead versus Quest here? Because they're kind of getting stonewalled.
The game plan, I guess, or their win con, I guess, would be to, obviously try to survive as much as they can. Because if you can see like how Demons is playing, they're using all their resources to go for KOs. So if they're able to survive that like initial onslaught of all those abilities, they can kind of hit them on the counter and use their abilities to take barriers. And as you just saw, one of them died, and then they capitalized on them for dying. But also, the other way around, if they survive all those abilities, then they can use their abilities to take the barriers back because they don't have anything to defend.
Yeah, Gumi had a crazy. I'm not even going to talk about the goal. Like it was a good heads-up play from him, but I don't know if you guys saw that. He saved 2 goals from Estelle blink or Estelle with just his strike. Like the crystal thorns were in the net, and he would block the crystal thorn with his body and then strike it, and it was the only way he could have saved that ball.
Oh wow!
I mean, we're talking about how they need to stay alive on that team, but really, I've been really impressed with how Gumi's secondary goalies have really flourished. I think like a month or 2 ago, I think if someone saw him picking Luna on this map, they would assume Demon's Raw is not as favored. But it's the point where he can bust out almost anything, and it looks strong and powerful. So
yeah, he definitely has a striker ocean.
That's facts. That is facts.
Still gets stall shot. Pretty good pickup on her.
Yeah, and Asher gets big fish. Like, that's gonna help a lot with survivability. Like, Big Fish Asher is such a pain to play against. Like, it's just so hard to get it past her. Snake picks up another spark. Our mayor election is alive.
Amen. We only have one cannon in the race so far, but, you know, we'll see. Who knows? Anything could happen.
Yeah, someone might steal a couple votes in the ballot later. We'll have to see. Now, I mean, this is brutal. Asher fighting for her life here, but it's only level 4. Her stagger is so much lower than everyone else. Nice flight by Gumi. Gonna keep up the offensive pressure while they keep pelting this Asher. And Kainim's on the back trying to assist Gumi with a clear, but isn't able to get it past the Estelle ult. Trades the life of their Asher. Another great save by Gumi using, yeah, just his strikes. Like a ship in the night, sails by, assisting on the offensive line. Kilius can hold.
Oh,
nice blink.
See that.
Yeah, really
Well
good play by
played.
Fudgy there.
Yeah, that's the aerials plus the missile prop, right? That's hard to play around. That's hard to remember. Like the range that the Estelle blink projectile goes is, I want to say, almost the entire length of half of the field. So
Yeah,
nice,
I mean, it can catch you by surprise easily. This timeless Amy turret is putting in
so
work.
yeah, that looks so annoying to play against Skills.
That was a bit wacky. I'll say it. A bit disturbing. Oh, fly away, Gumi. Oh, flip. Let him know. Good try.
This is the kind of... Oh, kind of misses the strike. That was just a total defensive collapse on the side of Demon's Raw. Nice punishment by Goats to keep up the pressure.
This is what we're going to have to see out of this Asher if Goats wants to make the comeback in game 1 here. But
yeah,
it's working for him this set.
I think that's something important too, that a lot of times players don't understand that top teams do well, even if it looks like Goats is on the back foot, is that you don't need to necessarily put up always great shots. You just need to put up a lot of shots. And eventually, it just takes one goalie mistake for it to go in. Let's see if Kilius can hold 1v2 here with Fudgy. Nice clear up. Good flying from Gumi, doesn't get anything. Snake is low, but I don't think it's going to matter.
Oh,
yeah.
Good patience to strike there. Waited for him to back up to the net and then just strikes it through him.
Yeah. Good mix-up by Snake. I like that a lot. It's hard as a goalie to know if you're going to get dash punched or if you're just going to get struck, so you have to play to live. Good mix-up by Snake. Wins that 50-50. And here comes the onslaught. The flight of the Valkyrie. Kainev and Gumi flying in on the Luna and Amy.
Great,
but on the other,
mistaken.
yeah, the
No
airship.
abilities.
And he took a step back. Wow.
Well played by
mean,
Goats.
Yeah, it's winnable. I mean, this Asher character is getting harder and harder to kill, and when she's up, they have to deal with it. Not sure what Estelle's gonna go here. She can take extra. Okay.
Special, yeah.
No, that's a great pick. I didn't even see
Spark
that
of
was up.
speed, noticeably on the table.
Yeah,
Gonna be
Jakar,
taken away from this Julie.
the mayor must be stopped.
Another
He's gonna
hat
get
thrown
stacks,
into the
though.
ring.
As
Or
facts.
bulk up. You can get stacks or bulk up.
I think it's a... Oh, I'm surprised. I mean, I guess he has a lot of health, but I would have taken the stacks myself. I feel like the damage is enough. I mean, if they gave them a tool maybe to win, I think Asher with stacks and stagger as Luna is really scary.
She's just gonna be running around the pitch, just causing ruckus for everybody.
That is facts, and I don't think Luna's gonna have the tools to save this if they can get it to Asher. Yep, there's the goal. Someone dies to Amy turret.
Killed by Kinu. Funneled in by that turret, gets easily sniped by the Amy dash.
Yeah, nice shotgun timing. Oh,
bro. Just out of Gumi's range.
Bro. Ain't no easy.
These things happen, man.
That is so real.
I feel like, I don't know, at over half of these goals just feel like, I mean, Gumi's applying pressure, yes, but there's a fine line that he has to walk or fly between moving forward up the pitch and making sure he's not giving up freebies. But the kill on Asher means, I mean, this round's gonna end in probably now.
Hey, Snake's putting good use of the power. That bulk up pick is looking like it might be the right pick, because if you can just keep the Asher down, then it won't matter in the end of the day.
You guys want to guess? Goodbye. Whoa. You guys want to guess how much power Juliet has?
180. I don't
Probably
know.
in the 180s, 190, around that rate.
Yeah, 188.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. As soon as one domino starts to fall, the rest fall with them.
They're falling quickly now.
That was a
I
really
will
good
tell
ult
you
by
what.
Gumi to burn both the baits, by the way, because now Snake can just full combo and probably kill someone here.
Yeah, it's especially challenging because as the midfielder, Fudgy has to play the speed zones. You're going to see him try to stay away with no meter, which really, look, he has to get the speed zone, right? I'm telling you, when you're the midfielder with no energy, you have to go down to dig the ball from the speed zone, and you're put in this awful situation. And I know because I've played midfield on this map versus Snake. Last week in NASL, he will hunt you down on the sides. I'm familiar with his game. It feels terrible. He's very good at it. So, match point for Demons. Nice little back and forth coming down. Oh, a kill from the core flip. That's a huge swing. Let's see if Kilius can hold. He doesn't have any cooldown reduction, so he's using both shotguns. Asher has to try to stall this out before the ball gets back. Ooh, he dies!
Wow.
Dies to the ult. That's
This is
specialized
just
training.
a slaughter right now.
Yeah, Fudgy Waffles does have some goalie experience. He might be able to hold, but this is a really tense point. Kilius is back up. Gumi elects to trade damage on Asher. Nice snipe, catches him
Asher is
unaware.
down. TV3 again.
I think this is almost impossible to defend, and it's in.
and
Yeah,
it's
good
in.
luck with that one.
Hey, I can't wait to see the damage
Demons.
numbers. Demons raw.
I mean, these guys don't look beatable. I'll say it.
They looked very
Wait,
good.
Yeah, literally, I feel like half of their goals was just the ball snuck by Gumi 1v0. So, I mean, these guys, look at people. Gumi posting a 32k damage stat line.
Yeah,
Overall,
these numbers are just disgusting.
Very chill. Very chill.
73k damage to 40k. It's
Yeah.
not close.
Yeah.
Like
And
that,
the one kill
The one kill was
at
the
the
was
beginning
that
of the
dash
game.
punch at the very start.
Yep, the first round, the first 3 seconds, that was their kill. I mean, and the thing about kills, the one-off kills, is they matter more later because that's when your character has more of their power budget. But when you get that kill early, it's not enough to translate to a consistent win, consistent lead. Good game from Demons Raw. They executed well on what their strategy was supposed to do, and I think it's what they do best.
Yeah.
Which is, especially on Oni Village, Snake just assumes the Oki position. He understands what he's supposed to do, and it's just do damage. It's just to do damage and to finish off kills. The goals will come. They'll come with time. They'll come off of forcing the 3v2s, the Amy pressure, the Luna pressure offensively. All he has to do is convert on the kills that his midfielder and goalie are setting up for him, and it's just you set up the pins and knock him down. On the side of Goats, they tried getting a bit tankier, try to get some additional cooldowns, try to get some additional range. They weren't able to contest on the power, and we saw a bit of a deja vu sequence that Demons Raw had in their last round versus this round, where it just looked like one of the teams could not keep up in the damage, but they did not have the core control necessary to score the ball. And again, it's coming down to how well Kainoob is able to patrol that midfield line. He really is the crux of strategies like these. So hats off to him and Demons Raw for another good game. We're gonna be interested to see what's happening in game 2. What do you guys think? Yeah, what do you guys think that not Quest, that was the last round, Goats, what do you think Goats needs to do to try to bring us back? Is it something they need to adjust in the picks? Is it maybe there's a different map they could pull, or is there something in their gameplay that they just weren't executing on that could be improved?
That's a good question. Kind of tough to say because, I mean, Demons they just look so dominant. I feel like their team identity of playing that KO comp, they're just the masters at that, and it's hard to beat them when they're doing that. So I think they can look back at that set that they won that game and saw what they were doing kind of right in that set, which is, be able to survive, make some passing plays, take advantage of Gumi being like out of position at times, and take the barriers together more and more, and just keep trying to play like how they played in that set that they won that game.
Cards, talk to me. You are the coach of the OSPL
That is
second place
so
team.
real. Yeah,
If you were coaching these guys, what are you saying to Goats in the locker room here?
man, I don't know. It's like Joker said, it's hard. The answer to these kill comps is really, really difficult. Like, I don't know. Something has to be done. if they're gonna die all the time, they need to maybe try playing more of that hit and run guerrilla warfare style type beat. You know what I mean?
Holy, yeah. Micro, macro, play our game.
Is there ever a world where you try and match this kill comp coming out of Demon's Raw, or no?
I think you can. I think Fudgy is one of the few midfielders that has a decent Luna, and I also know they can go the other route where Kilius can play Atlas. I'm not sure what's getting banned. It's possible that Demon's Raw is banning
I believe it was
Atlas.
an Atlas ban.
Okay, so Demon's Raw is just straight up playing for the you gotta match us or we're gonna out damage you strategy. I know that a Palme, I love Albion. I'm sorry, it's Palme, always in my heart. A Palme, known, well respected Juliet player, can finish off kills a bit more consistently than Asher. Though Asher, let's be clear, no slouch at that. But I know he has his Zentaro in the back. It'll just determine whether. I think the map will play into a big part of it. I know that Kilius prefers those more defensive goalies. I know he likes the Rune. I consider Drakkar a defensive goalie. I don't consider him part of a damage comp. And it's just going to be tough because I don't know if that's necessarily Demon's style or Goat's style. I think they find the most success when Fudgy is on core control-based characters. That's when I find them the scariest as a competitor. When he's on the Rasmus or the Era. Well, if you load into Atlas Labs, hey, Vaughn's lab, Naruto. We'll have to see what they bust out. This is a great map for long-range damage characters, which is why this is my favorite map to play as a competitor. I love picking stuff like the Luna, the Finny, the Estelle, and there's also other things you can do like the Rune, the Atlas. Like there's so much variance in this map. We'll have to see what happens. Cards, you were right, and Atlas was banned. But notably this map, unlike Oni Village, is something that Vice can be picked on. A character that Gumi is quite adept on, and he has locked in. And that character's stocks are through the roof right now. We're going to see a mirror match. Joker, I know you've been playing a lot of Vice recently. Can you walk us through why she's seeing so much more popularity in the high elo scene?
Honestly, I think more people are realizing like that she's like really strong. I mean, for some reason people just stopped picking her. And after like she got that little buff, that last patch, people started like trying her more and more and seeing like, wow, she's still really good, as well as some of the awakenings that were buffed that help her, like heavy impact. And yeah, people have been seeing her like do a lot of damage, and she's really good for these damage comps.
All right, we have Big Fish and Timeless start. Both teams opted for probably the highest damage comps you could pick in Omega Strikers. The interesting choices I want to point out, Albion has chosen to take Draining Wand or Siphoning Wand on Zentaro for that extra damage, while Snake has elected for Slick Kicks. Fudgy has elected for Pummelers, while Kainu has elected for Slick Kicks. So on the side of Goats, they've really taken to heart, all right, if you want to brawl, let's brawl. And we're going to see a Finny get played, one of the least played characters in the game. I'm really excited to see if Kainu can play her to her potential. A lot of times using her debuff in conjunction with her primary will just absolutely one-shot any players. And also will result in the one-shot of both Finny and almost Gumi. Off to a hot start from Goats while I was yapping about the damage. I like to see that.
Goats hits that level 2 first, big power spike, unlocks the ultimate. Gonna be hard to resist that on the sides of Demon Raw here.
Oh, and it's hard to resist a double barrier as well. I mean, the pressure that Ghost is coming out with, I'm a really big fan of. Nice rocket for follow-up, and Albion has the dash to secure it. And this is what I'm talking about. I think Fudgy has a good Luna. I'm pleased to see them pick the Vice as well. I think that this is actually, goalies, if you're listening, this is a really easy pick. It might look flashy, and it might look kind of charred. Well, you gotta strike the ball, young man. But this pick is actually incredibly simple to play, easy to pick up, and does an insane amount of damage. Both Vices will probably be at the top of the damage chart, unless it's the Finny. Now, the Luna going down means that midfield control will be difficult. Pretentious the core flip. Yep, at the very tip of the hitbox. This guy's dead. That guy's dead. He's alive! It's team deathmatch. This feels like, yo, guys, it's time to chat. You guys ever play the original Star Wars Battlefront 2?
Oh, of course. Obviously.
All right. Okay, there's this game mode where you play as all of the Jedi and the Sith, and it's like this big brawl where you play these super OP characters, and you just TDM each other, and you say, I don't care about objectives. That's what this is. Literally, no one's gonna care about the goal until someone's dead. Like, I'm gonna guess 80% of these goals are gonna be scored 3v2 or 3v1 by either team. So, yeah, just hey, that's a little bit of nostalgia bait for the millennials in the chat. 07, love you guys. Boomers rise.
Kinoob takes a full Luna ult. See if they can capitalize with the kill here.
Wow, nice save. I don't know how they dug that out. It's really challenging to contest the Vice Primer when it's charging, especially when the Vice ult is on top of it. Recently buffed. Fudgy using his dash to secure both barriers. And we see Snake is doing what he's very competent at, which is keeping space in the front, even if he's staggered. Holds on with his little tippy toes, but sniped by Fudgy. You have to track that Luna rocket. Ball's back on the side of Demon's Raw, but advantage is definitely on Goats' half. Passing back, trying to force it in the corner to Albion. He should have his primer to contest the goal. Ball's cleared. Kinoob and Gumi holding the line well, nice. Back and forth, ping-ponging, looking for an advantage with Zentaro. They're just pumping damage. The difference in the comps here is that when the side of Goats has a kill, the Luna can just output more sneaky damage. The Finny stuff is a little bit more telegraphed, making it hard to defend and dodge the hitboxes from Luna. And it's just a brawl. Back and forth, back and forth. Kilius blinks forward, doesn't get anything. Make sure he holds the barrier. As soon as this barrier goes down, he can have way less offensive pressure. Back and forth, back and forth. Abilities going down on Snake. Gumi sneaks in for the barrier while they're distracted. The job of the Zentaros is to just be, honestly, as big of a matador as possible, with the bulls being the damage coming out from the two ranged characters. Finny ult. That's hard to react to. Nice try, Kilius.
Yeah, I mean, what we're seeing here is just constantly everybody spamming their abilities, just praying that they can get a kill on somebody, honestly. It's really hectic. And if you see somebody without any evades, just know they're getting hounded.
And I'm going to say it.
2 easy ones.
I think these games are fun as hell to play as a player.
I love playing those kill counts.
Yeah, I think the game is so much more fun playing like this than like Asher hitbox spam. I think it's hectic. I think it's everything that OS is enjoyable about when both teams are playing like this kind of style. Sure, it can get a little spammy with the abilities, but like, I mean, it's just there's just action. It's just fun to watch. It's always good in moderation, and inshallah we pray for the Deadeye for Fudgy. Oh, no Sad Boys draft luck, but he does get extra special or reverb. I would take extra special if I was him, and then his Vice can probably get heavier missile. That's what I would think. And then their Vice gets missile, and then if I'm their Zentaro, do you go Spark here? I think I
would
go
start
Spark.
sparking it up. I would enter my
Spark
ballot
'cause
right
it's
here.
fun.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh
yeah. Put his name on the ballot
Scaling
right
for late
now.
game.
Oh yeah. It's funny. This is probably one of the few drafts that Stacks on Stacks is not picked. Guys, that does not mean Stacks is weak. It's just it's gonna be a dead training.
Yeah,
most
no one's
likely
gonna
for
get
any
value out
player.
of this game. Like literally no one.
Yeah, you're gonna have to play like Faker if you want to actually get value out of Pancakes this game. So Deadeye not found, but damage coming out. Fudgy Waffles picking up the extra special. It really translates to more of an energy burn coming out from Goats. Nice strike roll by Gumi against the Vice.
Oh.
Okay, these
What
things happen.
happened
Quick little freebie.
These things happen. It was funny because Kinoob spawn actually blocked Fudgy's flight, which I think would have secured the goal either. So Gumi, being a gentleman, decided to let it in the sport of fair play. What a
What
hero.
a kind soul.
Gumi, known for his kindness in the OS community, just living up to his name as the kindest Omega Striker.
Gumi living up to his name as someone of
Dead.
Yeah.
Someone who's in the grave.
In the grave 6 feet under.
Ooh, nice try by Kilius to hold that in the corner right there.
Yeah, his teammates saw blood. I respect leaving your goalie to 1v2. Sometimes when I'm playing against Sad Boys with belts, he and I will smell that blood in the water, and we just tell our goalie, hey, you already lose, good luck. Hold it down. Because you can see, if you're able to get the kill, I mean, it was 1 pixel off of double burying in return. So I don't blame them for their play here. Goodbye, Fudgy. 3v2s on the other side. Ooh, just out of range. Nice try, Kilius, to try to eject back and snag that strike. Try to cheese a little hit before he ejected back, and it cost him the goal. Playing on that knife's edge there. I thought
Ooh, almost
The Zen
gets the
players.
pick on Kainu.
Zen players going in. Damage, as always, being spammed. Vices jamming out.
Yeah, I wonder what's gonna happen this round, guys. It could be anything.
Guys, this is the round where they all decide they're gonna score by only
Yeah, we're gonna see 80 passing plays, flawlessly executed, of course. Oh,
Good snipe by
guys, someone
Fudgy.
died. Oh,
That's an unfortunate bounce. I couldn't tell because of how fast it happened if that was a directed bounce off of the gravity well, but it is a way to set up your forward. Bomba.
Oh wow.
oh yeah, let them know.
Oh
Fudgy.
yeah, I saw it coming a mile away. Literally, for people who haven't played Luna, this is how the character goes every kickoff. As Luna's probably my best character. Here's how it goes, guys. You look at the meters of all the characters, you pick the one with the lowest, and you ult them. And that's it. Profit. You're now a Pro League Luna player.
Yeah, you've hit me with that one. You've hit me with that too many times, man.
Yeah.
All you have to do to counter that is just not walk up. Oh my
Okay.
god, saves it off the line.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to make it in time.
I didn't think it was gonna bounce like that, but
Yeah, we've seen it roll into Gumi's net slowly so many times, so I don't blame you guys for that.
All right, so the good news is that this is an advantage. Even though their gates are down, I actually favor...
Oh
never
my god, he
mind!
flies in there.
excellent flight. From
I was gonna
Fudgy
say
Waffles.
I actually favor Demons Raw because they have the health advantage, but Fudgy from the back corner, baby, sinks the long range
Yes,
dagger,
sir.
ties it up. If they go up 2-0 and they get first pick in this next draft, barring some weird carousel, that's a huge swing. Ooh, Snake,
good
that's a
flip by
big
Snake.
hero play. Good angle by Fudgy, tries to go
Let's
for
see
the
if they
double.
can take them back here, though.
I think they might be able to. Kiliast has flip. He's gonna play for his next secondary. Should be up in about 5 or so seconds.
Fudgy looking low.
Low.
Yeah. Good ult by Snake.
Great ult.
Using his character's mobility to dodge a hitbox that would have killed.
Oh, but an
Low health
unexpected
bars.
kill gets them the numbers advantage, but not the health.
Gumi's in there.
Gumi takes it into his own hands.
A bit of a miscommunication between Kiliast and Fudgy. I think they both thought they were gonna strike, and it was just hard to tell who had what. And the mayor,
Oh, he's
He's gonna
getting
get a spark
something.
no matter
There
what.
goes Spark of Strength, if he
Yeah.
so desires.
and Snake gets. It's funny because both of Zentaro's Bisses up. I honestly would take the Surge if I was Zen over a Spark here. That's my 2 cents.
But his city needs him, Vaughn.
His city needs him.
And that he does.
The stagger swagger's up there as well, kind of going for it.
That's a great pickup in this game.
Might help
Yeah.
him live a little bit.
For
I think Hot Shot is
obvious
pretty good on
reasons.
Vice here, by the way. Because if she hits the core with it, obviously the core goes flying, but it also lowers his cooldowns a lot. Paired with the heavy impact, she's gonna get her primaries like refunded almost fully, and she could just spam them out.
I'm gonna say it. I think I might have preferred Primetime because the heavy mitigates the damage debuff, and I like the ability. I don't think you need more damage. We'll see if it turns out to matter, but a lot of times I feel like you blink in and just primary a person. We'll see if that comes back to bite him or if he's made the correct choice. It really could just come down to execution. That's some classy damage. Something that I've been a bit underwhelmed. I'm looking for it this round is if Kainub can actually hit some primaries. That sounds like, when I say it like that, it's a bit of flame, but it is I think the hardest primary to hit in the game, especially after the speed changes it's overgone. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of the value is coming from the Finny ults and then the Finny debuff on the secondary. I haven't really seen Kainub use his primary effectively. I think that's in. Yep.
Yes, sir.
I
The
think that
D-Mangle.
if he uses if he's able to land more primaries consistently, that's the difference. But right now, I think this match is being carried a lot by Snake's performance, being able to consistently get those barriers 1v2. So we'll have to see if he can continue to execute on that throughout the absolute hellfire raining down of this game on the Zentaros.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Feeny Primary is it really gives you its sweet old time to dodge it. You know? Fires all the way back. It makes a loud noise. It's flashy. It's like, hey, I'm throwing this out. Get ready to dodge this. Hey,
Yeah.
Albany
get
needs
ready.
that one though.
And also, even like just straight up, just hard to hit. It's literally like a harder to hit Luna primary.
Yeah, it's Luna Rocket, but harder to hit. And I don't even know what is the damage on Feeny Primary. I feel like it's about the same as Luna Rocket.
Yeah, It's definitely similar. I think Lunar Rocket's stronger though, and Finny. I mean, someone in the chat can fact check me on
Someone
that.
knows the numbers out there.
The stat nerds over there.
Yeah, someone
good
has wasted
rocket by
time
Fudgy, by
to
the way.
calculate that. Oh, that's in hot shot. That was hot shot. As soon as as soon as he hit that, that's
Hot
I think
shot
I'm,
difference.
Oh, I think I'm ahead of you guys by like a tiny bit. Hee hee. It's because I'm in the client. Here, let me change that. Because that is the hot shot difference, especially in overtime.
It's just so satisfying to land that primary with her and just see the core go
Just
flying.
soars.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hitting what, like almost 50% harder on his primary with heavy and hot shot. Like that is going insane.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Excellent.
literally
So
back in
fast.
2 seconds once he
Yeah.
hits the core with it.
That's the first time I think we've seen a goal scored without like 2 people dying.
That was because Kilius hit him with the beautiful pass there. And he's probably going to get the Deadeye here. Or the
Yeah.
Rapid Fire.
I think I can definitely take the Deadeye. I think it's. I mean, I would take Deadeye. I mean, it's Cope to leave it up for Luna, but Luna is going to sneak and get specialized, extra special. Watch. They're going to forget about it, and she's going to get specialized, and she has Happy Star. They're going to forget. Watch. No, they didn't forget.
Ooh,
Okay,
they
They
but
did not
remember.
forget.
Zentaros
They're
takes
Norris.
specialized, which doesn't feel good. Maybe you can change my mind. I never am a huge fan of specialized on Zentaro. It doesn't feel like a real training.
Does not feel good at all. As a Zen player, I always, like, whenever I have the option of it, I try not to go it, but, I mean, to deny it here, it is kind of worth it, because if he can just ult people who are, like, having no meter, then it will do a lot of knockback and a lot of damage as well. He just needs to get value out of it, try to his best to get value out of it.
That is true. All right, we'll see if that actually pans out. The meter on most of the players on GOATS is a bit higher, especially now that Fudgy has this egoist. Boom! Bomba! Takes him out on the
Great
side.
kill confirm.
Oh, he's gonna run into the middle!
Oh no!
Yeah.
Get out of there!
He realized too late. Kainu came in, and Kainu has that stagger to burn. Like he's okay doing that because he's picked up. I think Kainu has stagger swagger and reverb this game, so Kainu's kind of slowly turning into a bit of
Bit of a
off
Oh,
game.
wow. Snake just one-shots 2 people.
Guys, we need to buff Zentaro.
That is so
ASAP.
real. Can we get him more cooldowns?
Wow, he
The
just tripped them both.
Actually, Zentaro's been underperforming
He's
in,
been
in all
struggling at
levels
every level.
and all levels of play. We're gonna have to bump up his numbers so the swinging, slashing swordsman can make his mark on the core strike field. Sony, don't feed me those lies. Shut up. Zentaro is so broken. All right, rant's over. Back to the game.
Hey, that was a valid rant, because we literally just saw that point. Snake one-shot 2 people, and then they're on 1 HP. He gets his cooldowns back and finishes them off. So
Yeah, I mean,
shit.
it's
That's
certainly
pretty cool.
looking like Zen is weak at all levels of play right now.
It's a
He is
miracle that
looking
these
low,
players
though.
are able to pilot
Yeah.
such an underpowered
Brave of
character.
brave of both forwards to pull up this off-meta pick in this game.
Like, let's be honest, either team could have locked in Dubu forward this game and it would have already been over, but they wanted a challenge.
that is so real.
And it's
Heroes
Ooh.
for that.
Yo, what
I mean, that
changed?
entire point was just
They're
they
gonna
were just
slapped.
pressuring
just
them.
play better one more. You know?
I think they're unironically play bettering winning in the morning, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, I know what you mean. I know
Yeah,
what
you're
you
picking what I'm putting down. Also, low key.
Oh, yeah.
Bomba. Bomba. I think on the lowest of keys, Kainub unlocked the DLC of ulting the barriers, which he hadn't done.
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
very
it's
many
just
times.
a guaranteed barrier every time with that timeless.
Yes. Against
Against
Vice,
Vice,
Vice
yep.
has
there's no
nothing
way.
to do about that.
Ooh.
Oh, and
A
here
little
comes the Finny ult. Let's see if they can score off this. Ooh.
Oh, misses the ult, but I think the hot shot is coming in pretty clutch. Oh, like 2 ships in the night. The Zens. Nice snipe from Gumi.
Oh,
Takes
Zentaro throws out 30 hitboxes. Doesn't find the
Can
goal.
they
though.
hold this? Oh, nice
Great
strike
by
Kilius.
Kilius.
Oh my
my
god,
God,
Killius
he's
taking a
alive.
journey.
He's dead here, no? Oh, no, he's alive.
Oh, he lives by
Barely
the
escapes with his
tippy
life.
toes.
Not the set though. As we go into set 5. Very close game. Can GOATS Esports continue this to a 3-game series?
He's going to be twin
Interesting.
driving.
Yeah, so I think if you're Luna, I would lowest of keys. Actually, this is a really hard draft to navigate. I'm kind of interested what the players are going to choose. Get Monu. Get Monu, Finny. Just get Monu.
Wait,
Yeah,
if,
just
I
grab
remember,
it for
if I
fun.
remember correctly,
No.
somebody's running for mayor.
I believe
Yeah.
it is the Zentaro last pick here, no? So
Yeah.
they're
you got
going to
it.
be very happy with that last pick. Very powerful for being last in the draft here.
I think there was a huge missed opportunity. I mean, raise your hand if you've ever played against Timeless Monu Finny. Like, you just drop your ult and it's unclearable. I actually, I'm
It
a
is
little
very
disappointed.
cringe.
Like, I think it just straight up wins them the game even without killing. But we'll see if the fire up comes into play more because he does have Catalyst, so he'll be charging his Scorpius much more frequently.
Great stall, Achilles.
Wow.
Bomba.
That
Wait,
was
that
a
was
really
a
good primary by Achilles because
Achilles.
it put it in hit stun for him to get hit by the bomba.
Yeah, Achilles just played that. Honestly, that was like perfect. I wouldn't have changed a single thing about that play. I think they're gonna on Achilles' next secondary. I think they're gonna get this goal. I would be surprised if Demons is able to hold this in the next like 5 to 10 seconds without crumbling here. But they do, and get a barrier. Achilles, rare misstep
Achilles
after
did
his
not
great
come
play.
back.
Oh,
No, he didn't make it in time. Snake's getting tickled.
Ooh.
And a nice
Great
putback
dash.
by Fudgied. Yeah. Hard to react to that Luna dash. It hits so hard. And it can come out so quickly that there's not a lot of tools that Vice can do to stop that. So nice pickup by Fudgy. Bomba. Fudgy has his debuff, and he's been one shot for fun because Finny debuff goes a little crazy. Meanwhile, oh,
Fudgy's
fly, young
going
man,
on a
flick
journey.
little trip around the world.
Yeah, fly.
This should be another berry with the Finny ult.
Finny
Nothing
ult
Vice
plus
can do here.
2 flips.
Wow.
I think they score here.
Fire
Yeah.
it up. Fire it up.
Holy shit, guys. I am going to
Wow.
the airport right now. Check your
I
gates.
know where my gate is.
Yep, check
Hey.
your gates. Check your gates, guys. If you've ever been to the airport, I think you got to check what gate you're at. A little inside joke on the desk.
Snake.
Oh, wow, that was cringe.
One
Oh,
combo by
bomba.
Luna here. Great kill.
Bomba. Oh my god.
Goats
is-
needs to
Fudgy's
capitalize
been
on
getting
this
some-
with
a
a barrier.
lot of kickoff
too.
kills
There's
here with
one.
Luna.
Can we see two?
Oh, he holds the flip. Help me on no.
Ooh,
Oh,
another
bomba.
combo.
Fudgy
Still
and that
3-2.
waffles.
Hopefully we see a flip coming out here.
Ooh,
We do.
nice stun. Wait, Kilius just went crazy this
They're
point.
all dead.
Yeah, I think they score
Snake.
here.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Great angle.
Kainu. No!
Oh, I thought he grieved.
No! Oh my god.
Okay, we're chilling. Whew. I got nervous. If I'm his teammate there, I'm clenching.
I'm
Oh my
I'm
God.
holding my breath there. And I'm not even. I'm not even
fly.
in the game. Oh yeah.
Yo, Fudgy's just
Fly
killing everyone
away,
in this round.
Fudgy.
Fudgy cannot be stopped. Oh, good ult, actually.
cannot be held.
Hold. I mean, Demons
Oh,
is
my
holding on.
Demons is doing a good job holding.
Oh,
yeah.
look at these dudes just hugging the barrier there. I mean, I
It's
swear,
just been
one
a
of them
permanent
spawns.
3v2 for Goats this
Yeah.
round.
Bomba!
Wow.
Wow.
What a catch. Holy
That
What a
was
goal.
That was a
insane
hectic
play.
point. And just
Yeah,
a crazy
this-
way to end it too with that.
this
Luna
goes
dash into
hard.
that strike. Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Yo, I'll say, I think this fire pick, yo, I'm sorry, I'm gonna drop the, like, being nice thing. The fire pick was ass. I'm
Wow.
saying it. This pick
He
was
will
terrible.
say it.
I don't care. I'm
Oh,
allowed
hot
to say it.
shot.
I've won 11 of these tournaments in a row. Fire Up was a terrible pick. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna flame. But now I'm not gonna flame. I'm gonna compliment. Nice strikes,
hero.
Kayub.
What a hero.
And he's about to get fire value. Just wait. One more strike and he's got the fire
my
value.
God. they
Flip by
held it.
Kilius, but the health bars are not looking great on the side of Goats. They do get
Wait,
one
they
crit
Trade
kill
one for
though.
one.
They held that. Nice.
Yes.
Good flip by Kainu.
Oh, they're
Gumi
fired
Gumi
up.
has his flip as well.
They're fired up. Gumi, get in there, young man. Fly.
Fire up was
Oh, Gumi
amazing.
wants to get in there.
Is Fire Up the best training in OS? Oh my gosh. I mean, when you're a player in these situations, by the way, you're locked in. You have no thoughts other than like what your next ability is. That's all that's going through your minds. Yep.
Oh,
Oh.
great Centaur ult from Snake to hold in
It's
place.
a set 5.5, baby.
Wouldn't
I
have it
love
any other way.
I love Atlas Lab games. I love this map so much.
Hey,
It's so
called
fun.
Vaughn's Lap for a reason, bro.
That is so fact. Guys, we need to normalize, make sure it's... Oh! Finny Bug, by the way, I have to say it. Finny Primary just disappeared. How cool is that? Alright, I had to say it.
Oh my god.
What? They
Great
held
strike
it!
by
Wow.
Kilius. Oh, well, Gumi with a great primary
Nice
there.
punishment. I think Fudgy's...
Oh
Wait,
my
they
god,
held
they're
that?
Hold them and hold!
What is happening? How?
Don't give them an inch!
Hold the lot. Yo, Snake's just hanging out down there, by the way. Oh, that's one barrier.
They could
Everyone's
look for a
living.
chance to turn this back if they get a kill on Snake here.
No, the chain lightning.
Demon's Raw puts it away.
Wow, I mean, this game was crazy, man.
That was a dope game, though. Oh, and I get to hear the little Finny music. Wait, Finny won MVP? There's no way. And
Hey,
my
he
game's
was putting in the
frozen.
work.
No, he wasn't. I need to see the stats. I don't
Hey,
believe
the
it.
numbers don't lie, bro.
The numbers do not lie.
What do you mean, man? He just was
Hey,
a
man.
strike bot.
Hey, the numbers
Hey,
don't
while
lie,
everybody
man.
was fighting, he was striking, man.
Yeah, he was playing the secret core control DLC, man.
Maybe. I definitely want to shout out both the goalies, though.
Yeah,
I
Killius
thought
played
both
like a
the Vice.
beast.
Yeah, both the
Agreed.
Vices played super well. Also, dude, look at the saves on Goats. What like a communal effort. That's crazy.
Yeah, when's the
Like,
last time you saw your forward with double-digit saves?
Yeah,
honest.
I mean,
I play
Vaughn
with
never
bells,
sees that. Yeah,
so
Vaughn
never.
sees that.
Literally never. One time he got 7 in a game and we like popped off. We're like, oh my god. Oh, I like that game a lot. I was slumped over. I was like so into that game that I just straight up was like leaning sideways in my
That was
chair.
very entertaining, I must say.
Yeah. No, that was so good. And it was so good that I'm going to break the illusion that I'm a good caster, and I just heard myself echo because I had to stream up. All right. So, with that being said, Demons Brah is going to sit in the winner's side of Grand Finals. Congratulations to them. They earned it. I mean, I said at the beginning, this Goats team, pretty good. Like they had a lot of hype going into this competitive NASL season. Kind of petered off, but I think they're hitting the stride that a lot of people were hoping for them to have. So I liked watching that game a lot. Joker and Cards as both NASL players. What are your thoughts on that match?
Honestly, I'm really happy that Goats tried to hit him back with a damage comp because, you know, we were talking about after that first game, like, what can they do to, like, possibly win? And they hit him back with a damage comp and did so good. I mean, it went to 0.5 set 5, and they honestly could have won it if, like, 1 or 2 things went differently. So, shout out to Goats for, you know, putting up a really good fight there, almost winning.
Yeah, very well played. We saw a lot of back and forth in that game. You know, Budgie Waffles on the Luna, I think, was also putting in a lot of work. He's so much damage. Very entertaining game, I must say. Very great.
That's facts. Now, before we send you guys to a break, I have a fun fact, courtesy of Snapple Facts. Sponsor us, please. The muzzle of a lion is like a fingerprint. No 2 lions have the same pattern of whiskers. Tell that to your loved ones.
Poetic.
Interesting fact. Dare I say, had to make sure I said it, because always love a bit of trivia.
No,
Make
we
sure
love
that
our
you
Vaughn facts,
know,
man. We love the Vaughn
hey,
facts.
Love, trivia. Gentlemen, if you've never attended trivia night, it goes hard. Completely unrelated. Back to OS. We will be right back as well tonight. I'm skipping trivia night to watch these games, actually. You will not want to miss them. We're going to sign off for now. Make sure everyone give a warm little round of applause for Cardinals 29 and the Joker's casting debut. Always tough competitors in the scene. Always love my matches against both of them, whether that's in solo queue against the Diamond Duos or in NASL, you know, whatever playoff match it's going to be where we meet them in terms of finesse. So thanks for coming on, guys. Any closing words you want to say before we sign out?
I mean, I'm just happy that, these games are kind of heaters for my first game casting, and I had a lot of fun, especially, like, casting with you. You're good friends of mine, so, yeah, loved it.
Yeah, it was a great time. You know, love to see great games, good priming, good timing, good Tuesdaying. Hey, love to see it.
What more do you want? All right, that's going to be it for us. We've got some Pokemon Showdown to play while we're taking a break, so we'll be right back with some excellent casters where they will be taking you to Loser's Bracket. Don't go anywhere. You'll definitely want to see which team will rise from the ashes to try to take down Demons Raw. I'm Vaughn. This was the Joker and Cardinals 29. It's on his birth certificate, and we are signing off, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, everyone, to Primetime Tuesday. This is another Primetime Rapid Fire Tournament. Number 3 here. Let me let the teams know that they are good to queue for this matchup. This is a lower semifinal. We had time to do this one because the other matchup was kind of quick. Contended matches that we saw between both of those games, but even though it went to set 5, goal 5, Zojulix, it was not enough for Goats to get the victories over Demons Raw. As we had heard Vaughn, Joker, and also our other caster that joined us. Oh, I gotta scroll up. Sorry, I'm terrible with names. Cardinals 29. There we go. Shout out to them for joining us in that last one. But thank you, Zojulix, for joining us, and thank you everyone who's been tuning in for joining us on the YouTube stream for the first time.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure to be here and to cast some Omega Strikers and just continuing to be a part of just an awesome growth of seeing how this game progresses in its competitive scene and being able to obviously continue to be a part of weekly tournaments. It's awesome, and I'm really excited to continue to see what's going to happen here in this tournament.
Yeah, this is another best of one. The lower final is also going to be a best of one, and the grand final, which will be casted by Threezy Breezy and Vaughn, is going to be a best of 5 game advantage. So we're in here for the long haul tonight. It's going to be a long time, but it's going to be a good time and a fun time for these teams. Eris Kitten Club and Chikara Chatting facing off against each other at Gates of Obscura. This is my first time casting a Gates of Obscura matchup, and we do have Eris Kitten Club on the blue side. Just so you know, our producer Jesse, shout out in the background. And then the other side, we got Chikara Chatting, who have been making the run. If they make it to the grand finals, they will have played the maximum amount of games possible throughout this entire tournament today, Zojalix.
Wow, that would be an absolutely crazy run. I'd love to be able to see that happen. And getting into draft, we've got Kazan and Atlas are banned out on the 2 sides.
That we do. Kazan usually one of the strikers that's very heavily favored depending on what the map is, and kind of annoying to play against. So
yeah,
we're going to see so much chaos on Gates of Obscura, especially once it gets to OT and more of those gates open up. And then you just see so much going down. I like seeing a rune here. I'm assuming that's Liari on the other end. That is going to be... No, Liari's actually on the Kai this time. And Evil Drew Danger. Is that a goalie rune that we see on the other side? I think it is, if I'm not mistaken, looking at these awakenings that we see for these players too. Rapid Fire and Big Fish for Oppabug on the forward side there. Evil Drew Danger on the back end with that Rapid Fire too. Rapid Fire for Primetime Rapid Fire 3 as the start for the first one we cast Zojalix. It makes sense.
Yeah, it really does with all of these players that we're seeing. That definitely makes sense, and I forget how absolutely chaotic Gates of Obscura is with these portals.
It's so nuts.
I'm going to be losing track of the course so many times throughout this entire game, but either way, Liari is taking an early KO, but both barriers are actually down pretty early, and yep, once again, I've already lost track of the core.
Yeah, that's just what happens on this one, and that's also a reason why it's nice to have the pillars being able to be used by Rune, just so you can kind of block those gates, especially if you get some of those creation awakenings, so that way you can have Timeless Creator keep it up a little bit longer, but send right through the portal, Soaring gets a goalie goal to start things off.
Oh my goodness, the use of the core flip up through the portal. I mean, I don't even know how you predict that kind of a shot. That was absolutely crazy.
One good thing to note here, too, for you, Zojalix, so people have been paying attention to Bestie and Slot, but also the NASA matches that we've been putting on the Twitch channel and on YouTube here as well. Nobody on Eris Kittens Club is from that Tier 1 league for Omega Strikers. They're all from NASA or from across the scene. Soren from Powerhouse Defenders, and NXZD, another great player through NASA rosters from what people have been watching. So seeing how far they can go is great to witness. Evil Drew Danger, Oppabug, Liari also looking to make moves. Oppabug has been casting a lot of those matches too, so we got like a really star-studded showcase for us in this matchup here.
That's so cool. I love seeing the way that, like, throughout Omega Strikers, people have been coming from all over the place. You've got people who are not only incredible players, but are also coming out and are being really good casters, and just, like, everybody is just so well-versed across various aspects of the game. It's so cool to see.
Well, now we have 4 portals, and that's exactly what happens when one goes down and Oppabug is bullying Soren. It is very hard to defend when the core goes through it, so tied up 1-1. This is kind of a longer set you don't quite expect to see on Gates of Obscura. It took a while for that goal to go through, and usually both goal barriers are down, but it just goes to show the quality of these two teams. Eris Kitten Club took down Finesse, Sundubu Strikers, and Oshino Coreflip, who are all Nassel teams. So huge wins that have been happening across the board, and they almost got the #1 seed. Actually, no, they did get the #1 seed, excuse me, going into this bracket.
Yeah, so definitely some high expectations here for this team of Eris Kittens Club. And we're seeing, though, on that red side, both barriers are down, but quickly responded here. Liari is going to be broken, though. Possible opportunity, though, for Oppabug to get the shot. Tries to get some bullying onto Soren, but doesn't quite find anything just yet. But Liari, or no, Evil Drew Danger pushed that one through.
That they did. Oppabug was trying to get the finish, but Evil Drew Danger, I mean, using this rune to their utmost capability on Rune's map, I mean, it makes sense. The Gates of Obscura will be navigated by who else but Mr. Obscura himself on the rune, so nice to see happen there. The placement of the pillars is so crucial too, just so you can block the area there as well. I mean, that's also another good reason for Oppabug to be playing Asher too, so you can use the path splitter and try and shut things down or send it straight through the portal so it can't come back afterwards. A couple different strategies you can have when you're playing on this specific map in this opening set between these teams, but it's really going to come down to those awakenings later on. And Soren's playing pretty well for himself, getting that gold barrier, also using the barrage and keeping things up a notch as best as they can. But soon there's going to be another gate coming out, and well, speaking of gates, the gold gates are both gone on Ares Kitten Club.
I will say from the side of Soren, I like the ability, I like the use of eject button on here, especially with those gates, having no idea where the core could be at some point, because it's just, you have the gates you have to worry about, you have the other team you have to worry about. Being able to have that maneuverability is huge, and Oppabug is just going to use that primary to push Soren into the back and win this first set.
Gotta think that Evil Drew Danger, of course, the MVP here, especially with the way that they are performing on the goalie side of things. And looking at Monumentalist size and hitting harder creations, that might be a good pickup for them. But Twin Drive will help a little bit too, just so that they can use their secondary to get around a little bit more. But Monumentalist, yeah, it makes sense that they're going to want to take that every day of the week to block those portals, those Gates of Obscura as much as they can. Twin Drive, that's going to be huge for Oppabug as well. Some solid pickups across the board. Extra stagger for the Zentaro. Specialized trade, I mean, that's always a gimme for Luna. And then Liari not really left with too much, so they're just going to take some increased stagger and cooldown rate to work with on the Kai.
And honestly, even having that is still going to be really nice to have, especially with that increased stagger is going to help a lot with Oppabug being... Oh, wait, no. Liari took it, so never mind. It wouldn't actually counteract the Oppabug bullying them because they're getting bullied by their teammate.
It's all good. Oh, man, and both gold barriers down quickly from Liari, and the KO comes out from NXZD, so that's a tough spot to find themselves in for Oppabug. You talked about KO. You're just being prophetic with thinking Oppabug was going to get KO'd, and they did right then and there. But the Monumentalist pillar, able to block things not for too long because of Zentaro and NXZD being such a nuisance. And that's how he typically is when he's playing those NASA matches. Looking really strong on offense. Gets the core flip and the KO off of that as well. But the pillar worked perfectly from Evil Drew Danger to keep that one away for now. And almost the passive from NXZD scoring that behind.
That was a very scary shot, but a beautiful pass from Soren up to Katsuna through the gate to allow Ares Kitten Club to score first in the second set. That was beautiful coordination there between the two players.
That's what makes this map fun and different and unique from the other maps too, because there's so many different ways that you can score using the core. Every time the gates just pop up in different areas, and whenever you have some sort of game plan going, you really have to change it every single time after the goal resets, depending on where those gates are. But Liari doing what they can to keep the pressure up. Oppabug looking for a KO or something, but they are getting bullied themselves, having to flip them away and evade, and Soren was distracted, it looked like, as Evil Drew Danger cleaned up.
Absolutely. You have to be careful on a map like this. It's so easy to get focused on those KOs, especially when you've got Oppabug, who's very low and immediately jumping right into your face to start using those abilities. But at the same time, that core can come out of the gate and go right past you and you don't even realize it.
What a great save by Soren. Oppabug almost got the pierce so that it could hit both of the gold barriers of the side of Ares Kittens, but it was not able to do that. Instead, goes the other direction, takes down a gold barrier of the other side, and it's looking like a lot better of a performance from Ares Kitten Club for them to try and bounce back and get a set themselves. Because again, this is the best of one. Whoever goes down here goes down in 4th place, doesn't get any of those Sony emotes if they don't have them all yet. But Evil Drew Danger doing what they can here. Katsuna just trying to pass things back, and it's just going in a circle, using the crater themselves to also redirect that back into the portal. Interesting plays from Katsuna on this map.
Yeah, that was something that I was not ready for at all. Unfortunately, though, Liari trying on the response is not quite able to get their core flip off. Now let's see what's going to happen. A lot of chaos happening down here in the corner, but the core is going to go right by Drew Danger, which they managed to clear it out and snag a goal barrier for their team.
Ooh, speaking of goals, we almost saw one happen there for just a second, but it's going back and forth between the gates every single time, like on Portal. But there it goes. Eventually will be in the back of the net. Liari getting credited with the goal, but Appabug with the pressure on that one. And eventually it had to end up in either side's net because it was open for a while. And now this is an interesting predicament here for the side of Ares Kittens, because if they go down by the set, one away from being knocked out of the tournament.
This is an absolutely chaotic map to try and play on, try to keep track of everything, and then the core just, you see it going in a loop as there it goes again, getting right back into a circle, but Appabug unfortunately is going to be going off the map here, one barrier down a piece as the core goes dangerously over into that corner, but the Crater Maker doesn't quite find anything until eventually that second barrier does go down.
Ooh, Soren going through the gate to try and force it through. What a 1000 IQ play as they are able to get that to Katsuna. And I'm liking the passing plays between those two players on this Ares Kitten Club team with the way that they've been performing so far. NXZD just cleans up the field, goes for the KOs, but really the masterclass of play that we've been seeing from Soren and Katsuna is on another level. But those pillars, so annoying to deal with when you're trying to face off against a Rune goalie on this map.
Yeah, absolutely. The pillars mixed with the portals, mixed with the banishment to keep you out of the game for a while, Rune can be just an absolute menace. And we're seeing right now Liari backing up through the portals, getting very dangerously low on health as the pass comes through to NZXD. It looks like it was going back down to Katsuna, but Katsuna said see you later and dashed across the map. But this is an opportunity for Ares Kittens Club as Soren clears it out to help relieve some of this pressure. Liari does go down.
And Banish comes out too onto NXZD, but Soren could have probably sent that easier into the back of the net, but it's not going to happen. Somehow a masterclass of defense from Evil Drew Danger this time, and Appabug almost able to put it through. The pillar comes out at the perfect moment to stop it from going into the back of the net yet again. Liari with the Giga Blast sent over to Appabug, denied from Soren, and what a comeback to get set number 2.
That was some absolutely beautiful pressure from Appabug and a beautifully timed primary to push that right past Soren and to close out that set versus not having that happen.
And Evil Drew Danger, of course, MVP again. We'll see what they pick up this go around. Not as many good options. Takes the hot shot so that nobody else is going to have a chance to get that. Temple Swing still pretty good on NXZD at that time. Built different, that'll help Soren hit a bit harder, but also be a bit bigger so that they have more room to work with when trying to attack the core itself. But Liari getting extra special. I'm surprised Soren didn't try to take that themselves, but maybe they're looking for some more survivability and area of coverage when they're looking at that center area where you can see Soren trying to defend both goal barriers going down in just a single swipe.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll be really necessary because especially when you get to the lower stagger and having the bigger size too from Built Different helps to cover more ground and make your hitbox, make it a lot easier for you to hit. Now, Evil Drew Danger getting a beautiful banishment into the pillar to keep their own goal barrier alive, but Liari is going to be going down here, taking a lot of damage, but managed to stay alive pretty substantially despite
for a
being
decent
low.
amount of time. Did pretty decent for themselves, but it makes sense that NXZD is sent on a mission to take on Liari because of that Giga Blast. Every time they have that after a goal is scored to use and try and just destroy any of the defenses of Ares Kitten Club. Soren again using that rapid fire as best they can, but Katsuna boosting forward and sending the goalie into the gates of hell and to the Shadow Realm at the same time as they get the first goal. But every time here, Zojalix, we have seen the first goal scored by Ares Kitten Club. They have not gotten a single one after that in either of these sets.
And I think, honestly, I think what's going to help out a lot in this set and compared to the other sets is NXZD having that tempo swing on the Zentaro helps a lot for the sustainability from Zentaro, especially with that Asher from Appabug being just an absolute nuisance with pressure. Now NXZD has something to be able to answer back from it.
What is going on here? So much chaos waiting for that pillar to disappear, and it eventually would. No Timeless Creator, unfortunately, yet for Evil Drew Danger, but doesn't need it at this moment in time just to keep the pressure going. On towards the other side. All gold barriers are down. Katsuna looking for the KO again on the Evil Drew Danger. Somehow saves the day, and again, but no, it redirected off the side. Wasn't straight down. A little bit of an angle in the first time in any of the sets. We've seen Ares Kitten Club get 2 goals.
Yes, and this is definitely something that you got to be feeling pretty good about that, because now they have the opportunity to just score another one, take a 3-0 set. Will honestly, I feel like really help reset kind of that mental focus and hope to maybe lead them into a reverse sweep here.
That'd be huge for them, but here it comes the other direction. Liari using that rapid fire themselves with the barrage to keep it pushing through the defense of Ares Kitten Club. Reset, and I feel like this position for the portals really doesn't do too much other than just set up some good passing plays at the midfield line, so not too detrimental for the goalies, really easy for the coverage, but the Monumentalist pillar wasn't enough for them to cover that goal barrier, even with how small they are on this specific map.
Yeah, and with this positioning, you know, you can see right there, Katsuna able to combo their primary through the portal and then basically set themselves up, allows for just some crazy core control to happen here. Katsuna using the core flip to take out Liari and possibly set up for a passing play as NZXD launches it up into the corner, and Ares Kitten Club finally have an opportunity to score back, to strike back and take their first set here.
Huge for Katsuna too with the way that they are performing. Got both the first 2 goals for their team. Aerials, now Deadeye, I feel like will be a huge pickup for this Luna just so that their Crater is even more effective, but all their hits will be super effective from what we've seen. Timeless Creator, that would be a huge deny from that rune, so maybe that'll be what we see Soren go for, and yes, that is what they go for because they know they can't afford to give that to Evil Drew Danger with the things that have been done by that rune so far on the goalie side of things. Spark of Resilience, the Sparks are back. Sparkington City, really haven't seen it used too much. Aerials is also a huge pickup. I kind of glanced over that for Liari. That's going to be doing massive work for them with their dash as well as projectiles having extra range behind it. But now we get to see exactly how the Awakening Draft is going to affect things going into this set. It could win things for either of these 2 teams. It looked like they both had pretty decent pickups across the board. Soren really not able to do too much with that denial with their creation gaining duration and size because they didn't really have anything that helped their kit, so it's going to be more relying on NXZD and Katsuna to carry the load.
And we're already see NXZD looking for those opportunities, having significantly less fear of being KO'd with the tempo swing and with the pickup of the Super Surge, now making that Zentaro even more mobile. And does Super Surge like stack the heal, make the heals from tempo swing stronger as well, or no?
That I'm not 100% sure on. We need some confirmation from chat on that. I haven't gone into the archives and done all the research on it, but it is still a very effective awakening for Zentaro with their Yai Rush. But we do see not really the most effective defending because Soren was stunned by Appabug's play with the barrier beam, taking them out of contention for the save, and the first time we've ever seen the other side with Evil Drew Danger getting the first goal.
That was a beautiful combination. The trust from Appabug to believe that Evil Drew Danger was going to get that shot up through there, and then to see that then come through with Appabug putting the pressure on Soren. But now it is looking like Ares Kitten Club are going to try and get a response here. Appabug brought low as Evil Drew Danger does come back.
Soren pushing up too, knew how crucial it would have been to score while they could with both goal barriers down to tie things up, but they still weren't able to push past, and Appabug just being a nuisance. The boost going backwards for Katsuna to clear things around. NXCD trying to be a nuisance, using that Super Surge to dash around as best they can, do some good damage on Liari, but these placements of the pillars from Evil Drew Danger have been on another level, just predicting the path of this core as it goes through those portals, and with only one on either side, it's pretty easy to predict at this point, but eventually eventually, in just a few seconds, there'll be another one spawning. But, well, both of the goal bearers are despawning on the side of Air's Kitten Club, and that would have been a great play if they could have gotten it across the field, but it's not going to work out. And the barrage from Liari, perfectly timed in place to push it through. One goal away for Chikara Chatting to keep their run alive from the upper quarterfinal through the lower bracket into the lower final, playing the maximum amount of games possible.
Chikara Chatting trying to do everything that they can to stay alive, continuing not just the mechanical skill, but the endurance from this team is really coming out. NZXD, though, is going to be on 10 KO streak, being an absolute menace on that Zentaro is going to be huge if Air's Kitten Club can manage to stay alive, though, but they have yet to pick up a point in this set, so they're in a very scary position, though both goal barriers are down on that red side. Soren using that core flip, but doesn't quite find anything as that second goal barrier does go down.
Even with all this pressure that is coming out from Getsuna and NXCD, they just can't really do too much against the mobility of Liari and Appabug with how much they are bullying Soren on the defensive end. I feel like maybe the Kai goalie wasn't the right pick for this map, and maybe it would have been better if they did go for a Rune goalie, but we haven't really seen that much from Soren as a goalie, so it makes sense to go if you want to be comfortable. And comfortability, well, Soren is not comfortable enough to get the save on that play after they were being focused by Appabug, had the tunnel vision, the barrage came out, and they couldn't get it away. 3-0 in the final set for Chikara Chatting to book their ticket into the lower final, guaranteed top 3, and what a way they've been able to push through at that point in time. Taking a look at the stats, I mean, of course, MVP Evil Drew Danger, 88 saves, plus the most goals out of anyone in their team as a goalie. I mean, that just shows how effective Rune really is on Gates of Obscura.
Absolutely. And not only that, but also just 8,000 damage. While that's the lowest amount of damage in the game, Rune still can be quite a bit of a menace for getting a lot of damage off between the pillars and the banishments, and just overall, the power that came from Evil Drew Danger. 170 redirects, the only second to that of Soren at 171. Just absolute dominance coming from Evil Drew Danger. But also, on the side of Air's Kitten Club, you do have Katsuna, who was able to tie the amount of goals, playing a pretty solid game on that Luna.
That was a great Luna play. I mean, I feel like all players did pretty well. Soren in the chat after the match is like, I wish I could play without Appabug just sitting on me in net. And that's really the worst position to be in as a goalie. But that's exactly what Appabug needed to do throughout that matchup for them to get the victory. And that's what you just kind of have to come to expect, especially when Soren couldn't really get around it too much. And with the way that we have seen this character buffed as much as they have been, Asher, with the more mobility playstyle on forward, it's just so tough to contend with. So we're going to be actually heading on over to a quick break so we can quickly get into that lower final. It's going to be another best one and a rematch between Goats Esports and Chikara Chatting, as both those teams faced off against each other because they were tied, I think it was, for third place technically in the upper bracket. Now they're rematching here to see who books their ticket to face off against Demons Raw. So we'll be taking a quick break. We'll be back with us too, and then after that into that next matchup. So don't go anywhere. a rematch of the upper bracket round 1 of the playoffs. I'm Vodible. We got Zojulix back in the booth, and we'll be quickly getting to another best of 1 between Goats Esports and Chikara chatting to see who will make it on into a grand final. Best of 5 game advantage. Got to go late into the evening, into Wednesday in the East Coast. I was going to say Eastern Conference, but there's no conferences in this. But it's going to be a great time depending on what the map is, what the awakenings are, and what we expect to see from these two teams. But Goats Esports, they looked pretty decent against Demons Raw, but that is the team to beat. They beat Sad Boys during NASA recently. Definitely recommend checking out the VOD on Bestie and Slot on Twitch for that, and checking out really all the action that's been happening with NASA that we've been uploading to this YouTube channel too. And also, if you're watching this and you aren't subscribed, subscribe on YouTube, because I upload all the VODs for everything. I'll be cutting down all these matches too, and putting those up as well. We also have 3 past NASA VODs to upload this week too, so keep an eye out for those as we upload those throughout the week and into the weekend. Speaking of NASA, next week is week 6, the Super Week on Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be streaming that on twitch.tv/Vodible, so definitely keep an eye out for that. But we got Oni Village. We're in here for the long haul, Zojulix, between these two teams, and we got Goats Esports on the blue side this time.
Yeah, it'll be nice to get a little bit of a break from the craziness that was Obscura in the last series, but I'm excited to see Oni Village here. I actually personally, from a casting point of view, as much as it is a long map and matches do tend to just go longer on Oni Village, I actually do quite like it. And now we're seeing the Atlas and the Drakkar band out on the two sides. Honestly not too surprising to see these two bands come out.
Yeah, especially with the way that we've seen things go before. Drakkar is a very prominent pick for Kilius, I believe it is, on the goalie side for Goats Esports, so they want to make sure they get rid of them, and Drakkar is kind of a nuisance to play against on Oni Village, just because the Xeno Cloak and how much extra speed they get. Also depends on what those opening awakenings are between these two teams, and then what was the other band again?
It was Atlas.
Yeah, Atlas also pretty decent goalie on Oni Village too. Just when you can just camp on one of the goal barriers and use your what is it called, the Cosmic Expanse, so that you don't have to worry too much about defending it in any which way. But we see kind of a standard comp between these teams. Juliet being featured here as well, but Juliet on one side, Asher on the other side. Asher's, from what I've heard, is just a better Juliet recently with the different patches that have come out so far. And speaking of coming out, we do see stacks on stacks across the board from everyone.
Yeah, and this, so we're gonna be in for a very everybody's gonna be zooming around the map. Now, I'm always one of those people too, whenever I'm looking at games, even competitive games, I always like to dive really probably way too deep into the lore of the games. So excited to see the entire Frostfire roster being seen put together on a team. So
that's true,
happy to see that. But we're already off to a pretty bloody start. We've already had 1 KO, and Kilius is gonna be getting pretty low themselves. Hopefully they won't be seeing the outside of the ring here anytime soon, though.
I do love the comps of both these teams as well. I mean, the Asher, Estelle, and Kai is also a solid pickup, but Oppabug able to get the final touch on this play here for the side of Chikara chatting to get that one on through. Completely different style than the last game we saw against Era's Kitten Club, where they couldn't get the first goal until that final set where they 3-0'd, but now going to come down to this one for them. And Liari looking for something, got the Rose Warp, tried to use the core flip, but it didn't really need it just because the momentum behind that Rose Warp strike onto the core was able to get that final gold barrier. And I do like Dubu on Oni Village just because you can use the Tofu Fortress pretty decently to either go for a KO or just zone out your gold barrier as best as possible, depending on the awakenings.
Yeah, there are a lot of options that do come from playing Dubu on this map, and Liari is able to put one away too. And I love too seeing going very back from the previous game where we're seeing a completely different Chikara chatting. Oppabug on the Juliet, Liari on the Estelle, and Evil Drew Danger on the Dubu versus the Rune, Kai, and Asher that we saw in the last game. And I think that is going to make it hard to counter because you obviously can see a team that knows how to play different strikers, and you can already see her playing them very well with already being up 2 goals.
so curious to know exactly what the map and comp was for their first matchup, but you can go back to, I think Fudgy Waffle was streaming, and see exactly what happened down there in his VOD on Twitch with the way that they were performing before. But both these two teams doing all that they can to either hold on to the final goal barrier if you're talking about Chikara chatting, or get it down for Goats Esports, who are looking to make a comeback against Demons Raw into that grand final after they barely lost to them on Atlas Lab in that game 2 in the winners final that we saw earlier, that Vaughn, Joker, and their lovely co-commentator that I keep forgetting the name of, Cardinals.
Cardinals, yeah.
Was able to do, as we see a 3-0 for Chikara chatting. They are on a tear, Zojalix.
Absolutely. This is a great start to go fresh from the win, and then now to go and 3-0 in your first set against arguably the team to beat. And now here we are in our carousel. We've got Primetime available for Primetime Tuesday. Exactly what we want to see. Opabug picking up that Catalyst, which is going to make that Juliet even more of a threat. Not surprising to see, though, the Kai picking. Honestly, these are pretty standard picks here between the Missile Prop, the Primetime, Super Surge, solid, yeah. I mean, good picks all around picks, for the most part for all these players, as we see some decent picks here from across the board as far as the Awakenings go. So really the Awakenings draft, I don't think really going to do too much for these two teams based on what we've seen so far. Based on the gameplay, Chikara chatting, they were dominant in that first set, and I think they're going to continue that unless we see just a different game plan, different play style. Goats Esports on Only Village here. Again, being a best of one, no second chances if they do go down another set. No, that's true. This could be a very scary situation for Goats Esports if they do see a repeat of the first set, but we're already seeing this one's going pretty back and forth. Evil True Danger is playing pretty aggressive, but unfortunately, you gotta win your strike wars, as I Love Albion will be the first one to put a goal in for Goats Esports.
First goal on the board for I Love Albion, which is just a great player name, and I think that is, who is it on their roster? That's actually, well, I guess they go by I Love Albion. Never mind. I thought they had a different name before, but maybe not. Either way, they love Albion, but they also love Omega Strikers, and they love scoring goals on this Asher here with the way that they've been performing, sticking to those speed lanes as best as possible, because Asher, not really the fastest on this map compared to some of the other ones, unless you get some decent speed awakenings, and I think Glass Cannon's no longer available for a lot of these strikers, so they can't really do too much with that. Have to rely on those up and bottom lanes. You can see them just sticking onto one side. Goal barriers down galore, and there goes the final one on the map for Evil True Danger, is just trying to keep it up as best as possible. And see I Love Albion just being a nuisance like Opabug was in the last game, and is currently being here too, but had no range on that punch, so is not even going to connect with Kilius and get the goal.
I wonder how much of the comp decisions between picking the Dubu in the goal and having I Love Albion picking up that Asher was decided, being comfortable knowing that you have the speed boost on the side for Oni Village, as well as stacks on stacks being one of your awakenings, that really hopes to prevent some of that speed. But Opabug almost getting a shot in the corner, but Kilius had a beautiful save. And, even for it being Dubu, that's a pretty fast Dubu, and
that's
Liari
a great combo.
Puts that one in.
You saw the pressure from Opabug. Liari had the vision too, was able to snipe it away using that missile propulsion. If they didn't have missile propulsion, I said it might not come down to the awakenings, but it definitely did with that piercing shot to put it through and tie things up for Liari.
And Liari having a beautiful patience on that kickoff. While it did end up now evening, well, no, they're even up on the goal barrier, so I guess what I was going to say didn't really matter.
That's how it goes sometimes. But looking at those goal barriers, Kilius really playing more towards the midfield to try and support the rest of their teammates as best as possible. Stick away from Opabug. Because again, an issue with Juliet on this map is Juliet not really the fastest too. So again, stacks on stacks does help a little bit there instead of going for a Zentaro, for what you would typically see sometimes based on how confident people are on that strike. But Opabug definitely more of a bruiser with the Asher or with the Juliet in this instance, as they do get the dash punch, they do get the KO and the goal. 2-1. One more goal means one more set for Chikara chatting to have played the maximum possible games ever to make it into that grand final.
That was a very beautiful Juliet combo there from Appabug. Beautiful secure, not just of the KO, but of the goal, and to just really help to give Chikara Chatting this opportunity to go into the grand finals and try and win this whole one. It's going to be a matter of endurance for them, but honestly, they're showing that even though they've played an incredible amount of games, they are not stopping this momentum. As Appabug will be winning that strike war and putting Chikara Chatting only one set away from securing a spot into the grand finals.
Evil Drew Danger again as a goalie, able to get that MVP and has their pick of the litter for really whatever they want to take here at this point in time.
Yeah,
so curious what they're going to go for. Is it going to be size? Is it going to be creation? Yeah, definitely size. They also definitely don't want that to be going to I Love Albion, who's going to take the tempo swing instead, which is different. Solid pickup. Ariel's going to be nice as well for that Estelle. Egoist is pretty solid too. Peak performance, I mean, that's pretty good for the Juliet for extra speed from their stagger and more stagger so that they can move around and zip around as best as possible. And I didn't quite see what Kiliast also picked up the cast last, so that their secondary is also going to last a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's gonna be that's gonna be really helpful for Kiliast, just especially in a map that's so open and big like Oni Village. Being able to have as much mobility as possible is gonna be absolutely crucial for these two teams. And now we're seeing Appabug hitting up that level 6 and going to get that second barrier, and does manage to get it. This is a great start for Chikara Chatting.
Oh, so close from Appabug too. You can already tell the speed's looking so much better since they picked up that peak performance in that Awakening draft. Evil Drew Danger just kind of juggling this one around, trying to see what they can do with it. Dubu rolls forward, but can't get a KO or much of a bump onto the other players. Just makes it a bit of a nuisance for Kilias to try and clear it away using that Tofu Fortress. But the Path Splitter, I don't know if that was really the right move, but it helped defend a little bit from that upper quarter and relieve some pressure on the Kilias, who is feeling it from Appabug throughout this entire game.
Absolutely. And Appabug now looking for an opportunity, goes in for the 1v1, but does not quite win that one out as the core does get cleared away. There is an opportunity here for the side of Goats Esports, as Fudgy Waffles has a core flip, is going to be able to knock down that goal barrier, but now Evil Drew Danger using their core flip to get the goal out, to get the core out, and Liari is going to go for the pass, unfortunately doesn't find the goal there.
I think we had a strike shot come out from Kilias to somehow get that away while Appabug was pressuring them on the defensive ends. Just the way that they've had some of the vision necessary to be able to defend these plays and keep them at a 0-0 scoreline into such a long overtime already. Crystal Thorns not able to really do too much. Isle of Albion with that upper lane was solid, but the Rose Warp from Liari perfectly timed to get that one away.
As an Estelle main, that made me very, very happy to see. That was beautiful.
Beautiful as can be. Liari patiently waiting too. Achilles somehow saved it away. Great timing on both ends, and a goal barrier goes down the other direction, and they win something from it, but they need the second one down to at least have a chance to tie up this set before they can even try and think about tying up the series, because they still have to pull off a full reverse sweep to take down the other side. Only have been able to scrounge up a single goal so far in this game on Oni Village against Chikara Chatting, but there goes the goal barrier on both ends, even playing field for the most part, but pressure is definitely on, and that missile propulsion on Liari has been paying dividends so far.
I love seeing missile propulsion on Estelle. Not only does she already have a lot of range, but the missile propulsion just becomes absolutely huge for her to not only be a nuisance from midfield, but even staying even farther back and being effective. But Fudgy Waffles, either way, is able to answer back for Goats Esports.
Oof. Nice answer back too for Fudgy Waffles there, and it's the first time we've seen them be able to be as effective as they would hope on this Estelle. Liari has definitely been outshining them on Estelle, but the KO off the side is going to be huge for Chikara Chatting even after the gold barrier goes down. And speaking of that, too, gold barrier is down on the other side. This is the time to come back, at least to get the lead again for the side of Chikara Chatting. Almost see it happen there with the flurry, but the piercing shot for the KO. Opabug with the follow through. Nothing Albion and Kilius can do for the save. 1 goal away is Chikara Chatting to booking their ticket into the grand final.
Evil Drew Danger had such a crucial core flip there, taking down both barriers. That just made it so much easier for the rest of Chikara Chatting to go through and do what they needed to do. But we're seeing Opabug immediately taking down one of the barriers, but it will be quickly responded to. Liari has her core flip available. Let's see how she uses it here. Nice attempt there, but Kilius was ready for it.
That they were ready as they can be, but both goal barriers are down, and so are the hopes and dreams of Goats Esports, who already beat this team before in the upper bracket. Opabug sneaks it through, and it will be Chikara Chatting playing the maximum amount of games possible, but still making it into that grand final against Demons Raw.
Honestly, you couldn't have asked for a better rematch for Chikara Chatting here against Goats Esports, as they've managed to, I guess they lost in their first game around, and then they win their way all the way back and get complete and total revenge. Just absolutely taking out Goats Esports here, only allowing 2 goals throughout the entire series. I mean, if you're Chikara Chatting, you got to be feeling pretty good after that one.
You really do have to feel great, but Opabug 6 goals on the Julia, definitely a great pick, but Liari, MVP for me for the most part, just with the positioning we saw from them, the setups as well from her. She was doing so much great work on offense with this missile propulsion Estelle, and that's exactly what you want to see from an Estelle at the midfield line. Evil Danger too on the Dubu goalie, just supporting them too, but I mean, we saw the other side of Goats Esports do what they could. It's just they were outclassed a lot of times, especially after that first set. And then eventually the Awakenings draft just proved to be too overwhelming for them to combat against. So now getting to see what goes down in the grand final. Best of 5 reminder and game advantage for Demons Raw. Demons Raw will only need to win 2 games to get that victory and claim the winning prize, because again, Sad Boys weren't playing in this event too, is a big thing to note for those Primetime Tuesday fans. They've won 11, so they're like taking a breather this time. Had some meetings, had some other stuff, had some casting for us too. And speaking of casting, thank you Zojulix for joining me for these last 2 matches. It's been pretty great to cast with you again, but also get some casting in myself and see how these teams are developing throughout the different weeks in the 2nd season now of Omega Strikers.
Absolutely. It's so cool to be able to see just how the teams and the game has developed, not just like how the game has developed from a like development Odyssey standpoint, but from a player standpoint, the things that players are able to come up with, the new mechanics that are being brought forth just by the creativity of the players is so awesome. And to be able now to experience it from a casting side, continuing to be a part of this era of the game's history has just been super awesome. So thank you, Vodible, for allowing me to be able to be out here and cast, especially for me as a newer caster, only really getting into it because of Omega Strikers. It really does mean a lot to me to be out here.
It's been great to see you grow so far through your casting journey, Zojulix, and see everyone who's been enjoying the Omega Strikers content so far. But we're not done just yet. We still have the grand finals between Chikara Chatting and Demons Raw in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be taking a quick ad break. We'll be back with that matchup.
Flame hidden in my heart. Didn't know how to grow from a single fire spark. But let it go when the road was dark. Couldn't wait, ran ahead, it's time to move and make my mark. I gave my pride, left all my regret. I just wish to be stronger, to give it all my best. What do I do to spread this burning courage? Every day, every night, I'm stuck inside of my head. I'm gonna stay who I am today. Wanna be somebody leading the way. Don't be afraid, gotta be brave, no matter what's coming our way. Get down and hype up the crowd. We can bring the energy they've never seen before. There's no doubt we're going all out. It's time we can shine the fighting dream inside. So don't back down, we have the power. I know nothing can stop us, you get it that way. I can't stop now, we'll take the knockout.
Welcome back to Primetime Tuesday Grand Finals. I'm joined by my cohort in chief, Breezeland MF. Breezeland, how are you doing today, Mr. Eli?
I'm doing great, Wanland. I'm excited for this match. Demons Raw have been playing electric today. I'm particularly happy with Snake. Chikara chatting, a little bit of a Cinderella story through losers. Finally defeated their arch nemesis after a little action with Goat Esports. So they're in the grand finals now. Interesting to see what this match will hold.
I agree. These teams have played each other more than a couple times in the previous weeklies. I think they have they played NASL yet? I can't recall. I don't know if they have.
I don't believe so. No,
I don't think so either. Definitely, definitely a marquee matchup for a weekly. Bit of an upset if Chikara Chatting can take this. They are playing a best of 3 with a game advantage to the winner's side. So that means that Demons Raw are starting with a game advantage. Demons Raw will just need to take 1 game to take home the W, and they have not dropped a game all day, staying completely undefeated. Best of 5 game advantage, I've just been informed. We're in it for the long haul. So they need to only take 2 wins, while Chikara Chatting will need to dig 3 against a team that has not dropped a single game all day. So that is a tall tale. Let's see what they're able to do. Love the Vaughn's Lab.
Oh,
lock
baby.
In. We'll have to see what gets banned in the pick ban phase. I'm curious. We won't know the Awakenings until it starts, but we'll have to take a peek. Usually Atlas gets a ban from Drew, and it looks like that's ringing true here.
Yeah, it's super hard to play against that guy on Atlas, especially for Demons Raw. They want to kill you, so taking away Atlas is of paramount importance. X-ban.
I wonder, maybe a Cast-a-Last or Chrono. Yeah. We see Era getting hovered as well. It's gotta be. Yeah, there's no other explanation. Atlas extremely common ban for Demons Raw. Well, they have banned it in, I think, every single game today. And Demons Raw actually have played against Chatting. I've just gotten fact-checked. Demons Raw took a commanding 2-0 where they did not drop a single set to Chatting. Have a bit of their number here. We'll have to see if Chatting can maybe lick their wounds and come back stronger. Drakkar versus Amy in the midfield. Zentaro, Juliet, and Luna Divu. A rare and refreshing 6-man unique game. Let's see what these starting Awakenings are, and then we'll just get right underway.
Yeah, we've got Egoist, and then on Liari has Catalyst with Vicious Vambrace. So
Cast-a-Last? Whoa.
Oh, sorry, Cast-a-Last. What did I say? Catalyst. Yeah.
Catalyst. Close enough.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I like that combination. We'll see if she gets efficacy out of it, but I think she's going for that survivability off of Vambrace, but I'm remiss to say if that's actually going to make a difference or not.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, as they've already taken both barriers, but Appa finds the last one, and then Liari just completely gets KO'd as Snake finds the goal. Oh no.
Not the start you want to see if you're Chatting. Interesting that she opted for Cast-a-Last, going for the ult and secondary utility over Egoist, one of, in my opinion, the strongest trainings in the game. I'm curious what the decision making was for that to happen.
Yeah, and you see both Snake and Kanye with the slick kicks as Liari gets KO'd once more already 10 seconds into the round, while Alphabug and Liari both have Vambrace, so I think they're going to get out-damaged and out-core controlled here on.
Yeah, I don't really see that there's going to be an angle, and we're seeing it come through. Like, there's going to be almost no added survivability, and if anything, Egoist gives that survivability that they so desperately need, lowers the amount of energy you need to dodge, which does add up, as well as the active from Egoist being such an efficient scoring tool. We're probably going to see the core go in off of multiple Egoist procs on the side of Demons Raw this round.
Gumi Jackson tries to get the goal, but well defended by Drew there. Just seems like he's got to hold it down forever while they try to get the core to Appa here, who's just waiting in their half. Gumi putting more pressure on, dashes in, but it's Kanye with the goal.
Bang! And he was there on the assist. I think Drew was really caught between a rock and a hard place. This Amy-Luna combination is something Demons Raw has picked multiple times today, and it's just so challenging when the Luna or the Amy, depending on which one's played in the goal or midfield, has the eject button to fly in together. It's really challenging because it turns a 1v1 sometimes into a 3v1.
Yeah, you just get both that midfield and goalie presence in the box, and what can you do, especially with no abilities as the goalie? Their Gooey decides to drop the barrier for a kill. Very based, as they now have a 3v2 here, trying to work it up to this top barrier.
I actually love that play because it's very common on Atlas Lab at the top level that the age-old adage is you just play for one barrier because how often you can get McDoubled on this map. And so he gives up the barrier to give his team their best advantage, which is when they're playing in the 3v2 situation. So nice decision by Gumi. I would do the same thing. Oh, almost a misstep on the triangle.
Yeah, got it done for Kainu with the glitch pop though, who does have his egoist, so looking to flip here, moving aggressively with the dribbles. Oh, can't quite find the flip. Down to Snake. Drew's looking very dead here as Snake does find the KO. In comes Jimmy with the goal. Yep.
Quick 3-0. I just think, I mean, I'm really not a fan. They've exploited. I mean, this is always what Chatting's weaknesses has been. At the end of the day, Drew Danger is an excellent goalie, but he's only known for his melee goalies. And once Atlas is taken off the table, Dubu offers his team absolutely nothing, as well as Liare not having that pivotal egoist and taking almost a dead training. They are really putting themselves on the back foot, especially as Snake just got arguably Zentaro's best training, Super Surge. So it's going to be a damage kill fest after this draft once Luna and Amy pick up some of their best trainings.
Yeah, prize fighter for Luna, and rapid fire for Amy, and then of course you have Drew going the Spark. Liari with Hotshot won't be terrible. Interesting to see where her speed will come from, because shotguns aren't the only thing that you need on Drakkar.
Yeah, I like the pickup of peak performance by Juliet. She's gonna have to stack like health at all, and you got to start somewhere if she wants a chance to play this game. The speed is always nice, but really it's the stagger coming through that's gonna make the big difference in these rounds.
Right. And you see there, Appa getting left on 1 HP. He does find the barrier before he's KO'd, so trades that value out, and now it's Snake and Kainu trying to work it up to find these barriers, compromise, after getting that kill. Yep,
Gets one.
Gumi. Damage. Oh my goodness. Liari is just getting KO'd.
Yeah, she is just a magnet for the center damage. And as soon as one person goes down on this team, it's just how their composition works. They don't have the damage to trade back. Drakkar is really only a character that has kill threat if he's paired with another good training. The only way they can really score is where Appa can put it in 1v1 versus the Luna. Really the only weakness of this Demon's Raw composition is the Luna's defensive capabilities in the face of Juliet. So Appa's able to take advantage of that and put in their first goal of the game. Good start, good start. That's where you start bringing it back.
Yeah, 100%. Appa just finds the ult there in the corner. As Gumi's dashing in again. Can't quite find the rocket on that ult for Appa, who's just taking a ton of damage right now as he's trying to get the core. Oh, in comes Drew Danger.
Oh, Drew Fly. Oh, yeah, Fly, young man. He's got the skates.
Yeah, he's laced him up. Oh, Gumi just with the misfire on the core flip there. Kainu with the backwards glitch pop. Save the day. Yeah, Drew's looking to fly a little bit. Nope, but here comes Kainu with Snake. And
I like
Gumi.
Oh, he holds this? Okay, nice try, Drew. Nice try. Bit of a reposition happening here. I like the pressure with Luna and Amy. Now that Snake is injured, he's taking more of a back seat. It's going to be hard for Drew to defend this. Kainem's going to flip in his face. I don't know if he's going to be able to stop this. Whoa. Wow. Wow! That was good play from both of them. I thought Keanu played that great, and Drew had some great clears in response. Like, that was just a good sequence from both of them. I really liked that. That was excellently played by both.
Yeah, awesome 1v1 there. Drew kind of noted where Kainu was going to shoot that first, but then just taking advantage of the clears there for Kainu. Liari with that hot shot, vaulted volt. Oh, finds that second barrier. Oh, Bomba again. That Luna will get you. Oh, there comes the turret. This is going to be hard to defend.
And we see every time there's a 2v3, it's just so hard for Dubu to create the space. I like the play where he tried to push the ball forward aggressively, because if he's stuck in his net, I don't think he can hold it. So he took a risky play that had a high benefit. It didn't pan out, but it wasn't a bad play. I like the idea. The execution was good. You're at a disadvantage. Try to, buy some time for your team. It was a good try by Drew.
Yep, and here he comes flying again.
Oh, yeah.
Takes one barrier, but not the second. Liari and Appa trying to work it in. Appa with the ult just can't quite find the core there. And in comes Snake. It just keeps going down on this path here. Liari looking low, no elusive. Now going to become the primary target of Demon's Raw. Oh, great save there from Yumi.
Yeah, and we're going to see the differences in this midfield control. Liari just hit level 4, but Kainib was almost level 7, and it really is coming down to the fact that despite Drakkar being known for his better core control, Kainib's Egoist plus his speed from his Awakening.
How are we doing today?
He is just going to be in a position where he can control the core so much more effectively, which really mitigates the only advantage Drakkar has over him, and he's just able to continuously get the ball in the goal, pressuring Drew with Snake on his heels, and it's just a systematic destruction here. I think Demon's Raw is absolutely dismantling this chatting composition.
Yeah, this is brutal. Interesting what kind of will opt for here. Maybe just leaving it up for his team so far. Yeah,
they want to get the twin drive on Luna because Amy has so many choices, and they give it to Luna, opting. Liari takes the energy, but did not take the energy training at the start, so it's almost a useless training in this situation. When you're down 0-2, hey, Sad Boys lore, when you're down 0-2 and you need to activate the gene, you need to pick trainings that give you value this set. You need to win this set, and Fire Up is not a high value pick in this draft for Liari, while on the other side, Gumi, Kainib, and Snake all get some incredibly powerful trainings. It's going to be very difficult to overcome this.
Yeah, heavy impact, not taken by Liari, which means that Kainib gets it, and that's going to be really important. As you see, both Kainib and Snake level 7, taking these barriers and taking the goal there. I mean, Appa's just fully staggered. He literally can't do anything, so it's just up to Evil Drew and Liari to hold it down, but against these guys with perfect form and heavy impact, rapid fire, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I think when you're Chikara chatting here, you never really want to check out of a game, but you need to just start accepting that it didn't go your way, and where are the adjustments that need to happen. I think the first thing that needs to happen here is you understand Atlas is going to be banned. Demon's Raw is just known for kill comps. It's all they've played all day today. It's an effective strategy. You need to start thinking about if you can match this. You have nothing to lose. Because obviously this stylistic approach is not going to cut it. So if you're Chikara chatting, maybe it's time. Look, let's be honest, weeklies aren't the end of the world if you win or lose. I think it's time for Drew to maybe start experimenting. I'd love to see a goalie pick that isn't Dubu, maybe as a bit of an answer. We saw Goats pull out the Vice against Demon's Raw and mirror their damage comp and took them to last point. So I think as this game is wrapping up, it's time for Chikara chatting to do a little bit of a regroup and pick up where they've, maybe fallen off, and let's see maybe they'll make a last stand here. But I would be trying to opt into what they could do. 3Z, what do you think some adjustments could be going into game 2 for Chikara chatting?
Yeah, I mean, who knows what Drew has been practicing in the realm of ranged goalies, but yeah, as that final goal does get scored, maybe that Feeney that has been heard about will come out.
He's been yapping up a storm about the Finney, let's just say that.
Yeah, so maybe we'll get to see that. Maybe an Amy, who could say? I'm really not sure, but I would say some kind of ranged goalie, Vice perhaps as well.
It's wild, 3Z.
What's wild, Vaughn?
I've seen, I would say, I think I've borne witness to all 13 Primetime Tuesday Grand Finals. 11 of them as the winner, chatting, and 2 of them as a caster. I don't think I've ever seen a harder stomp than that one in the Grand Finals. That was clinical.
That was
coughing baby hydrogen bomb.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, all I need to do is look at Oppabug stats, and that tells me all I need to know. Like 24 redirects. If you're limiting the brawler to 24 redirects and 9 shots, I think that's just complete dissection.
Yeah,
each of the Demon's Raw guys had like 20k basically a piece.
Yeah, so. Not even just that. It's the simple fact that if you add up the damage from every single member of the side of Chikara chatting, they did less damage than Gumi. Right. Just one person combined. Yeah. They combined for about 20,000 damage, and unless you are objectively the stronger team It is very difficult to win matches where you're so heavily outdamaged. It's just extremely challenging. It requires a lot of coordination, and it requires a lot of individual outplay that I just think that if you're playing against Demons Raw, these guys are at the top of our server. I mean, there's only a couple teams that can even beat Demons Raw in a best of series, and I think if you're chatting who has never even taken a set off these guys, I honestly, when I'm in this kind of situation, I remember having matchups like this in beta when I was a competitor competing against Orbits back when Orbits was the top dog throwback. I just remember sometimes you just throw stuff out the wall. You just, hey, why not try it now? Like it can't get worse. I think it's time to engage the experimental approach as Grimella, the king of cooking just the most insane compositions in the background of Threezy Breezy's cam. Shout out to Grimella.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, obviously we mentioned it. Liari with Vambrace on Drakkar probably wasn't it there. So interesting to see what they'll shake up. I mean, Appa known for the Julie again. Like this is just chatting, kind of playing their normal picks. And so that's like not something you kind of want to see in a weekly. You want to see them improvise, like you said. You want to see them experiment. Treat it as a scrim, right? See what you can do. So, yeah, interesting to see what they'll do in this game too. I have no idea, but I'm also excited.
Yeah, and I think we've all been in this kind of situation where whether this is in Omega Strikers, whether this is in a different esport like League of Legends, hell, even if it's in like a sport. Like I've been whooped in a basketball game before this badly, and sometimes you just have to laugh. You just gotta laugh it off and just say, well, let's go to game 2. I hope that they're able to kind of slough it off like water off a duck's back here. It's really the only way you bounce back. Just gotta keep your strong mental, and I think it just starts with one set. Now I think it's also important that we all gotta stance up a little bit as sunglasses here. Let's just assemble a little bit. just strike the pose for the cam. I'll get up as well. Excuse me.
All three of us pulling up. Go.
Yeah, facts.
Look at
that guy.
Got the bees.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, you can't even see me. Easy. How about this? I mean, is this the most professional Vodible Grand Finals cast?
Yeah, it's definitely the most classy, okay? We got our Sunday best on. Isn't that right, Vaughn?
That's real. Now, let's cut to the map because I just got my least favorite map in the game. Inky's Splash Zone. Odyssey, take this out of the game, please. Thank you. All right, let's get back into Grand Finals mode. Also, I do like this map because Kai Ford is good on it. And I love Kai Ford. I think that it's a really explosive pick that has some clear weaknesses, but its strengths are just the pure speed and the fact that it arguably has the best stuffing tool out of any midfielder in the game with Kai Barrage. So I'm wondering if they'll give it to Gumi or Kai Noob here.
Yeah, Snake is going to be locking in the Asher. Looks like it's going to be Gumi on Kai and then Kai Noob on Juno. So that's going to be interesting. I haven't seen too much Juno from Kai Noob, but I do know that he plays it occasionally. And then you see the Atlas by Evil Drew, but Juliet banned. So Appa's going to be playing Asher here.
Interesting to see. It's a Quick Strikes tempo swing start. Quick Strikes is a difficult train to play against as a goalie, especially on this map. You only have one barrier, making it, I would say, the most difficult map to keep your barrier on. With the added pressure of the Quick Strikes, it's going to be extremely challenging for Gumi and Drew Danger to be able to hold back the double Quick Strike Asher and as well as Kai and Juno. So we're going to see how this pans out.
Yeah, and Appa sticking to his style with the tempo swing, so the only one without Quick Strikes here. Obviously Kai Noob with the slick kicks, Quick Strike, and Snake as well. That's going to be, yeah, like you said, that's going to be hard. They have already claimed the first barrier. Drew here does have Flip, looking to defend as they're trying to work it up to Appabug, who's basically just planted himself onto Gumi.
And I'll be honest, I think that Demon's Raw is actually arguably the best team on this newer map. It really shows a hallmark. Excellent Giga, by the way, to pass that. It really shows a hallmark of the best teams on how well they adapt, and I don't think any team has taken to this map better than Demon's Raw in all of NA. So my eyes are peeled on how they move the ball between Gumi, Kainub, and Snake. This is a map where the spacing of your two forwards with your goalie are pretty much different than any other. You see Gumi going forward while Kainub jumping back, constantly covering the goal, but making sure the ball is being pressured, even if it loses their own barrier.
Yep, you see here, chatting, they've got the Juno blobs to defend with, but Drew gets it up. Appa can't quite put it in though. So Snake here almost has flip, but so does Liari and Drew. So Gumi, nice pass up to Snake there. They're just trying to keep it out.
Ooh,
but
nice
Appa's
Giga
always
again.
threatening. Yeah, great Giga by Gumi.
Hey, great Sad Boys emote usage by Snake. Code Sad Boys in the shop, guys. That's the best emote in the game. Chatting. Anyway, back to the actual chatting
And
gameplay.
Surf's up for Gumi.
Oh, Surf sub. Blastoise takes him out. Not something you commonly see.
Yeah, we love that. Oh, Snake here just putting on a clinic with the quick strikes, and now it's Gumi respawning in 2. Kainub, or Gumi 2, some would say, with the save. It's going to go up here off a flip from Drew, and Liari with another flip. The airship. Oh, Gumi can't quite secure that save, but that's 2 flips from the side of chatting.
Yeah, and we're going to see a lot more flips. Other than the fact that Appabug did not opt into it, Quick Strikes gives you so much more energy on every hit of the ball. When you use your strike on it, I think it gives 3 additional energy, if I'm not mistaken. So you can charge core flips like no tomorrow. We're going to be looking for everyone in this game to pick up energy trainings, because the team who's probably going to have more flips is usually going to win an Inky's matchup guaranteed.
Yeah, that's correct. But you see there, Appa using the tempo swing maybe to get a KO there on Snake. So now down to no bar, but it's Kainub now with flip as Snake respawns on the bottom side. And there goes Gumi with that eject button, but leaves his goal behind for Appa to find that barrier.
Stalling out by Drew. Nicely done, because he put the ball in the middle of the water. This is important, guys. If the ball is on either side of the waterfall or the spout, you can actually strike it out and completely mitigate the ball getting pushed through. But Drew struck the ball and then triggered the button in a way that the ball was in the complete middle, forcing out a core flip defensively from Kainub. Did result in a goal, but it was a good heads-up play by Drew Danger to make sure the ball was getting to his forwards normally without a core flip.
Yep, you see Gumi getting that eject value on that last goal. Nice barrier there from Appa, but now it's right back for Snake. Nice blob from Kainub to get it out of the water and sends it right to Snake for the goal. That was a nice play.
Yeah, that was great timing. He hit that with the primary itself, not even just the slime redirect, but just straight up the impact of the friend fling landing. Gumi getting first pick means that I would take Fire Up if I was him. He's opting to play more into the eject button style, and he wants to get more move speed out of it. I think this might be a mistake. I think energy trainings are going to be king, and you can see that Atlas literally gave up Hot Shot, one of his best trainings, and Juno's, just to get that energy training I'm saying, which I think is going to matter a lot as the Ashers pick up different speed trainings, and the Final Kai does pick up that Cast-to-Last to give them more of a speed boost as well on his secondary. Blazing Pace recently lowered in cooldown, which is why we see more Kais getting picked up, because it's a great utility tool.
Yeah, 100%. I really want to just go back to that Atlas, drafting the Fire Up instead of the Hot Shot, emphasizing your point there, but I don't know. I feel like Kainub's going to get a whole lot of value out of that training, so not the end of the world, I would say, for the Fire Up, but definitely Hot Shot is, I don't know, interesting to see which side will win based off of that. As Drew here is almost close to flip, but has lost the barrier, and Snake just dives in off of the splash zone and finds the goal.
Chills. Another Inky's goal coming through, chat. Type 1 if you love. If you're in the live chat, I need you to type 1. If you're a VOD frog on YouTube, I need you to comment how much you love Inky's. I really want to see those comments flowing. Let's get some engagement on the VOD. I'd love to see your thoughts on Inky's. Is this map utter trash, or are you wrong? I would love to hear in the comments. So let's see how these two teams navigate this interesting map.
Oh yeah, you see here Appa getting staggered, but does elusive, and now here comes the splash zone. Gumi walking up, but they can't quite find the core forward, and now it's Appa who's staggered once again. Drew is trying to clear Gumi, missing that elusive, and Kainub finds the core flip down to Snake for the goal. XDD, indeed.
Yeah, just a lot of, I think, misplays by the goalie. Thankfully, Gumi's misplay doesn't result in the point being scored. But you see these rounds are going by so fast. We're about to get to set 3, and no one is even close to level 5. That's just, this map is the probably most snowbally, fastest map in the game that's ever been released in launch to end the rounds quickly. You see most barriers being taken in under 20 seconds at a time. And it's just because of that one barrier. It's so hard to defend, and the goalies can only walk over so much of that surface area. That one misstep proves that the barrier drops in an instant.
Yeah, the double goalie with midfield meta is real. As you see, Kainu playing super defensively, just staying right on that midfield line, and even further back when the core is on their half. Now it's Snake who's staggered, just trying to get the core in, but going to be denied as 2 flips come forward for chatting. We've got Appa and then Liari. So Appa finding the barrier there with his flip. Now it's going to be Liari who's just going to hopefully try and flip this up. But nice line there from Kainu to deny it. But hey, surfs up again, right to Appa's lap there. And Gumi can't do anything to save that one.
I mean, my jaw is just open. I'm left speechless with how perfectly executed that was with the water cannon, guys. Truly a hallmark of a perfect play where the water just completely carried the ball and Appa expertly pressed his ability to take it out of the waterfall. There's a lot Gumi could have done, and I think maybe if he just improved his timing, his striking, his barraging, he could have dug it out. We'll see if he can manage to figure out the esoteric art of defending on Inkies against the water spout, as Drew gets a turn at doing it as well. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow, guys. Wow.
We love Inkies, and you will see a bit of a coincidence whenever that water spout is going. Wow. A goal's about to be scoring, so yeah. Chills as we head into our 3rd set and our 2nd draft.
Yeah, we'll have to see. The draft is actually the most interesting part because those goals are just so automatic. It feels like with the Asher in the corner, it's just into the blob, into the Asher primary, into the goal. It's just automatic. I'm curious who's going to pick up the stacks and the Egoist. Asher grabbing the Egoist is actually insanely huge. Juno getting the Primetime with Hotshot is insane. Kai might opt for the stacks with his eject button, and the other Kai will take probably Specialized. And then Asher will finish it off with a spark of her own. Didn't expect that, but she kind of has, the leftovers. So you take what you can get there. Overall, I think if you're the side of Demon's Raw, you love that draft.
Oh yeah, and there goes Gumi again with the eject button, showing that technology off. Appa does have 2 sparks now, so definitely in the running for Mayor. But I don't know if chatting will be able to escape this 3rd set.
Yeah, it might be an early end of the election with how this is going. The primaries are already coming back with the side of blue team. Demons Raw looking comfortably in the lead in the primaries. So I think it's due to their execution on, they're able to hold the barriers just a bit longer, whether that's with how they're spacing between the double goalie, between Kainoob and Gumi, or maybe Snake's converting more. It's hard to tell, but this double barrier, double goalie, one of the barriers is falling over frequently, and that's on the side of chatting.
Yep, Snake there just going for the stagger in the air. I can't quite find it, but now it's kind of up with a flip. Looking to stuff here on the side, but does force the flip from Appa. But nice pass down to Gumi, who has a flip of his own, and Barrage is right to Snake for the goal. Great triangle there from Demon's Raw.
Yeah, I love that. So if you look, Kainoob has to waddle all the way up from his arc to get back. He's doing something that many midfielders struggle to do, which is understanding his goalie's limitations and making sure he drops back when his goalie wants to play aggressively. And something that Gumi's known for, that it complements their playstyles very well, and it's something that you can find a lot of success with on this map because you rotate in new attackers to break that barrier once someone's cooldowns have been used up.
Yep, as you say, there comes Gumi again, but surfs up again with Inkies, and it's going right to Appa here on the top side. Liari trying to find it as Drew with that secondary. Appa flips, but it's denied by his own airship. As Gumi just playing the midfield role right now with that flip. Oh, goes for the kill on Liari, finds it with Snake, but kind of unable to defend, so Appa Bug finds the goal.
Yeah, usually Kainoob is known, he's a pro league goalie of his own caliber, but on Juno, there's really, I mean, unless you're Cake 0-0-0, my king, I don't really think there's much you can do to an Asher as Juno in that situation. Nice punishment by Appa to abuse that rotation. Chills, by the way. I didn't even get to finish my point. 5-second goal, by the way, guys. That was awesome.
Yeah, Kainoob just pressed thoughts? About 3 buttons, got the barrier, and then quick strike his way to Inky's splash zone, and then Snake stood in front of the goal and struck it in. So that was pretty bone chilling.
Yep. And you know what's crazy is I've actually never seen a goal like that scored on this map.
Yeah, it's there's the first time for everything. See Gooby taking a bit of a risk, kind of playing a little bit, it seems like, for fun here. Just wants to get in on the action because his team seems to be scoring rather quickly. But in comes Appa. Once again, kind of not able to defend.
It's just not a matchup that Juno's able to handle, especially when Appa's dashing in. The passive on Asher, the shield that gets formed around her from using her primary, is something that Juno Slime actually can't beat. So it's an ability that Appa is able to push it through a Juno Strike and Slime and secure their second goal of the set. So we'll probably see Gumi playing more defensively so they can close out the match here.
Yep, Snake now is staggered off that Liari core flip. Appa just flips with the airship, but can't quite find it. Now it's Drew who's playing up. Liari back with no cooldowns. Now going to try and strike it up to Appa here, but well defended by Kanyub and Gumi. Kanyub jumping down, trying to find a Snake. It's looking a bit stalled out here, Vaughn. Oh, as I say that, the Egoist comes online for Stake, who checks down the airship, and there comes Gumi. Wow. I mean, Demons Raw, they're going crazy. Oh, Ickies once again. Kanyub, it's the water.
Oh my god, congratulations for Demons Raw with an eclectic end to the game. Inky Splash Zone, you've done it again. 2-0 in the Primetime Tuesday Finals. Thank you, Inkies, and congratulations to Snake, Gumi, and Kanyub on their championship win. Let's go, Inkies.
Oh lord, you guys can really tell how much Vaughn loves Inky's Splash Zone as we see these stats here. Snake with 8 goals. Truly chilling gameplay with Asher on this map. Yeah, I mean, Kanyub with 127 redirects, just penetrating that defense of Chikara chatting, and then Gumi as well with a lot of redirects. Some shots as well. Not many saves. You'll see the attacking style for Demons Raw really work there, as opposed to the more defensive Atlas on the side of chatting.
Yeah, I think that's been the hallmark of the game. You know, I mentioned that Demons Raw was known for their kill comps, but it's funny that they didn't play for damage, but the style felt similar, where Gumi just throttles forward as a third attacking force to contend with these barriers, and you see that even though they didn't play for damage, it had the same smothering effect on Drew Danger, on Liari, trying to hold them back 2v3, because Asher just isn't something that can get back defensively to assist. Maybe like a Rasmus forward might be able to instead. Not saying that that would have been an objectively better pick, but definitely the weakness of Asher is she needs the ball coddled into her hands, and if she can't get that ball, she's effectively worthless. And by comparison, the Juno Kai eject button combination was just too much, kept the ball forward, and then every goal was scored with just absolute precision, grace, and aplomb of the utmost caliber. Just a staple of Inky's map, where every goal scored feels earned and deserved, just like that championship actually was earned and deserved. So Demons Raw completing their systematic destruction of this Primetime Tuesday number 13. I'm not mistaken, a new Primetime Tuesday champion's been crowned. Congratulations to Demons Raw. I do not think they've managed to get a PTT under their belt thus far, so big ups to them. And a great games played by them. Regardless of my opinion on that map, I think no one can dispute that they absolutely took over this tournament. No one was even close to beating them.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, previously they didn't lose a single game today. That just shows how dominant this team is. Looking forward to watching them compete in NASL playoffs. And yeah, I mean, in future weeklies as well. Just super dominant, and we'll see. You were talking about it earlier on the broadcast with Cardinals and Joker about this lethality meta. It's just so hard to play against that, even like with an Atlas. It just seems like there's unlimited damage in the game right now. So interesting to see how the meta will shift in future patches. But I have a feeling that lethality won't be going low anytime soon.
No, not at all. And I think who better to demonstrate that than Demons Raw. And well played to Chikara chatting. They clawed their way all the way back through losers, all the way through the bracket, made it to grand finals, had some great performances along the way. Really deserve the props. And also shout out to Goats, who secured the third place finish, who I thought played excellently actually all day today. So I want to make sure I shout out Fudgy Waffles, Killiest, and Apalme for their good play. All around very impressed with their performance. The 3 top finishers, all NASL teams. Make sure you're tuning in on Saturdays to watch the best that North American can offer at a high competitive professional level, where you see, you know, thousands of dollars on the line between these teams and maybe some other teams of handsome fellas like Threezy and myself. So make sure that you don't miss that on TTV Bestie and Slot, which will be on every Saturday. So make sure you tune in there. And I'd also like to thank Vodible once again. We missed Primetime Tuesday last week. We greatly value the opportunity that we get in North America to be able to compete in all these weeklies. We're truly blessed to do that. We love the game, even if it might not always be in our favorite state, and we couldn't really get these opportunities without high-level effort being put in by our lovely TOs, whether that are the people in VOD's crew, anyone at Bestie and Slot, or the Striker Central crew, or any other, TOs that have been in the scene. Really appreciate that. So that will do it for us. Threezy, do you have any final words you want to say before we sign off for the night?
Yeah, once again, shout out to the TOs. We really appreciate you guys. Shout out to all the players. Participation in these in tournaments is super important, so keep showing out. Keep playing better and winning more. And more constructive feedback is great. So keep a positive mental attitude, even though the game's sometimes a little bit funky these days. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Yep. All right, that'll do it from Threezy and I think excellently stated. That'll be all from us. We will kick it over. Vodible may have some words to say, as he always does, but either way, thank you for joining us on this Tuesday night. We'll probably see you again in the future, and that's going to be all. I was Vaughn, that was Threezy Breezy, and I will see you next week, where we'll do some more primetime action. Thanks, and have a good rest of your night, guys.